podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this is $1 beat.
BoxingVoice.com.
No matter what nobody say, man, spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, the kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
BoxingVoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Beyonce Productions.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing voice.
Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another consistent morning show with us over here at TBV, hashtag TBV Podcast, wherever hashtags are used. We are back. You know the number to call in, absolutely free from anywhere in the world, 1-425-569-5241. We are back with another one, and today we're going to be discussing Terence Crawford, Bob Arum, Kell Brook, and the options. It seems that Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook is going to be the next big pay-per-view. I'm asking you, is it the next big pay-per-view? But Arum says Brook is next. So we'll give you the details, and we're definitely going to discuss this one and see what you think. And, yeah, I mean, look, 2020, COVID-19. This is what we got. Let's go on out to Corpus Christi, Texas. My co-host.
It's me, Mario.
What is up? What is up? Feeling a little stuffy this morning. Not cool. So y'all are gonna have to bear with me. Ozark season 3 started last night. Just started it. It is dope. But yeah, man, let's chop this Kell Brook and Terence Crawford. I think we kind of touched on it briefly last night, but you know, we didn't really get into it. So what do you think?
I mean, it is possibly the only realistic option for him at the moment. So, I mean, it's probably what they need to do. I have a lot of reasons. Look, I think World Boxing News did a good job giving you the ins and outs of this particular matchup and posing some questions similar to articles that we do on ESPN and share with you where they pose questions. I think we need to follow them. It's titled Kell Brook throws hat in the ring for a huge Crawford fight. Now, there's a lot of conflicting reports. I put links in the pre-pro, and you can see that Bob doesn't necessarily want Kell Brook. Last year, Kell Brook was washed up in Bob's opinion. You can do me the favor, find that quote as I get to this particular article. We can actually screen share this and show you what it is that we're looking at here. I want to hope I'm pulling up the right one. Yes. Okay, so, you know, we'll skip all him throwing his name in the hat, and we'll go straight to the questions. Is Brook a force too mighty to compare or merely a worthy contender? Is Brook a force too mighty to compare or merely a worthy contender? Mario, what do you think?
Definitely the latter. Definitely the latter.
A worthy contender.
It's got to be. Yeah, here's the thing, nobody's going to dispute what Brook has accomplished up until this point in his career. Has he had some shaky outings as of late? Of course. But the bottom line with Brook is he represents a lineage that, then is bestowed upon Crawford, assuming he beats him. But at the same time, it's not competitive enough for this to be this almighty challenge. Nobody's going to pick against Crawford in this fight unless they're, diehard Brook fans. But other than that, we all know what this fight is. And until Bud is put in there with the top of the top, these are the type of fights we're going to see with him because he's so good. And this is a comment about how good he is that the rest of the field just shrinks around him. But,
So the author goes on to say that the answer to this question depends on who you're asking in the first place, because the fact that no one from Top Rank has reached out to Kell Brook or Kell Brook's promoters to set up the fight means what exactly? Is there really any interest? But either way, Crawford needs an opponent. And Bob has it out that they wanted to have him come back either May or June. Now, obviously, that's going to be COVID-19 dependent, but if somehow things free up, June seems doable. We're just about to get into April. Depending on the day in June, he'll have an 8-week camp. Maybe they'll push it to July. But this is quotes that he just released with the Ring Magazine article. So this is recent, as recent as yesterday. So they're still thinking May and June. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the date?
Unrealistic. That's one thing. Although I'm not going to lie, I thought you were setting up a joke there. I thought there was going to be something about how Crawford might benefit from, empty arenas with no fans. But I just don't think that, regardless of whether that fight's timing and the economic purposes of it all work in their benefit, that, it's just unrealistic. That said, it's unrealistic not just because of what's going on. It's unrealistic because if there's no momentum towards actually signing this fight, if camps have not been contacted, if it's all really just mere hearsay, then they're in the very beginning stages of this process and working out this fight. So, it just doesn't seem realistic.
And that just goes back to my thing that they're not moving them properly. They're just not. But the next question the author poses in our screen share, because, it's always refreshing to know that your opinions are of like minds, especially in the boxing industry. So the next question, check how beautiful it's worded. Is Top Rank spoon-feeding weaker opponents to Crawford? So interesting that they chose those words. Again, this is World Boxing News.
Yeah.
Very popular website.
Yeah.
I want to believe they are UK. I don't know. I feel like they might be owned by someone in the UK, though. Maybe. Or definitely have a lot of UK writers.
Well, they definitely have writers from America. I mean, I know that doesn't, prove your point wrong or right, but I'm just saying they definitely have had American writers too. So it's
I'm
not
just
fully
saying it as a
UK based.
disclaimer that if you read most of their articles, they favor. I can't even say that because they had a lot of Pacquiao stuff with Sean Gibson, the manager, and a lot of Shelly Finkel stuff throughout the years. I don't know. This article seems like they like Kell Brook though.
Yeah.
But they're being unbiased not only in their answers but in the questions that they're posing to their reader. Again, you didn't answer it. Is Top Rank Is Top Rank spoon feeding weaker opponents to Crawford?
Here's the thing. I think they're chopstick feeding him in the sense that he's getting whatever portions he can get that are out there. The PBC side of things they can't play ball. So then what's left, amongst the rest of it? And, it's slim pickings. And again, this goes back to the whole reason why I've kind of bigged up Jose Ramirez this week, is because not only is that a real potential fight that could happen that is meaningful, that would probably be one of the most meaningful achievements on Bud's career, but, at the end of the day, the kid could be a star. It could be a star-making performance for both of them. So, but anyway, to go back to your point, yeah, they're not spoon-feeding him. They're just giving him what they can at this point. But I don't think it's to the fault of Bud.
Yo, it's funny you chose those words, man. Giving them what they can. I mean, aren't they top rank, bro? Why is it so hard? That's my biggest argument. As top rank, why is it so hard? Why is it so easy to get Tyson Fury a big fight or Vasyl Lomachenko a big fight? Why is it so easy to say that they could put Ramirez in with Crawford? Why is it so easy that they say they could put the other Ramirez, Gilberto, in with Canelo? Like, why is it so easy to match everyone else? I don't get it.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because you've been saying this a lot lately. Are you implying, when you say that, and I'm asking you, I'm not like, this is a real question. When you ask that question, are you implying that Bud's just no type of draw and he should take anything?
Absolutely not. Bud is a draw.
That was a question.
Bud does numbers viewership-wise on ESPN, right? His fights do great numbers. I'm not even going to lie. They do great numbers. His pay-per-views do horrible numbers. His ticket sales in Oklahoma, or Nebraska, they do good numbers. But I don't follow his ticket sales outside of those locations. Let me see. Let's check here. His last fight was in New York. So that's the Garden. So the last two have been in the Garden. Benavidez was in Omaha. Then Vegas for Horn. And then in Dongo was, what's that? The Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln? What's that? Also Nebraska. Okay, they took him home. All right. Mm-hmm. At least he's getting a lot of home fights because he got, John Molina home fight. So it's either Madison Square or back in Oklahoma from what it looks like. Right, he fought in Texas with Delorme. Back in Oklahoma with Beltran. Well, they're definitely trying, after looking at the black and white, they're definitely trying to build him. He got Gamboa in his home. He got Beltran in his home. I mean, he got a lot of fights. All right, I guess that's when it started. It started late, Let me see if there's any earlier ones. Did he build himself? I don't know. Where's this? York? York might be in his area too, because that comes up a lot. But it's looking like after the Prescott fight, they believed in him. They took him to Dallas, Orlando. Then he went to Glasgow for the Ricky Burns. Then Omaha, Texas, Omaha. So that's what we need to get. We need to get Madison Square numbers and Omaha numbers. But that's the thing. There's no West Coast here. I mean, I guess Vegas is considered West Coast, so I guess pull up the postal numbers. And the other Vegas fight is Horn. Yes. Vegas and Horn was on the West, and then everything else was Oklahoma and Madison Square Garden. So, again, if we're being honest, they seem to have tried to put him in different regions. I mean, they went Texas, right? They put him there. They put him in New York. And then they definitely continued to bring him back to his home. We got to see those numbers.
It sometimes takes a fighter a while and a promoter a while to really find that market for a fighter. You know what I mean? Because they're always trying to expand it. And so I think the point that you made,
that's crazy though. Isn't Canelo like 29 and he's got like 7 markets? Japan,
yeah, exactly.
UK.
Well, they started very early with him. With Bud, in terms of star, in terms of pushing him as a star, he started much later. So the comparison isn't there. But
I mean, he started in 2008. That ain't late. I mean, Wilder was still in the Olympics in 08. So was Andre and Gary Russell. And,
yeah, but that was when he was, at a prospect, I guess. I'm talking about when they started building him as a star. Canelo, they started building him as a star as early as 20 years old. You know what I mean? And so even 19, that's not the same case as Bud. His success, he's had to earn success to get a push. And the more success he earns, the more push they give him. And so I think the frustration, and this goes back to the point while I was asking, is because, you think about what you're asking, like, okay, why isn't there money to fight him? Well, first of all, the heavyweight division, you brought up Fury. There's more money in that right now. So then what happened to the money division at 147? Well, we're seeing now that without Pacquiao and without Mayweather, these guys, they dip. They dip a couple levels down in terms of commercial value. And that commercial value doesn't go up until they fight each other. You know what I mean? So it's like a catch-22. It's like, is there money there? No, I guess not enough yet. But the only way to get the money there is for these guys to be fighting each other. So, it's kind of like a really ironic BS, circle.
So I know Brandon in Cincinnati is a big Bud fan, and he's saying on our comment section, 10,000 for Mean Machine, a.k.a. Crab and Lobster. I think he heard the show. He stopped answering my text. He's got an iPhone, too, so he leaves me on read. I hate when they take it personal. Brandon is also saying 14K for Khan in MSG. Can you verify these? And 8K for Horn. Now, the two high ones for Mean Machine and Khan, make sure that we get some undercard, because if Teofimo and Conlon are on there, I mean, just I won't call it cheating. I'll just say very good promoting on Bob Arum's behalf. You know what I mean? If you got Teofimo, who is the star, who's scaring Vasil away from Madison Square Garden for their super fight, you have to attribute a lot of those tickets to him and Mick Conlon, who has an Irish background, and that's why they're bringing him to New York City. But neither here nor there. I want to read and screen share the author's response. He says, is Top Rank spoon-feeding weaker opponents to Crawford? And he says, and I quote, this is becoming a popular fan theory. The only way to put it to rest is for Top Rank to choose someone on Brook's level or better. It only takes one more opponent that is around the level of Kavalaskis, and they'll cement it even more, giving the appearance that they're trying to make Crawford look stronger than he actually is. So in a way, they have indirect control over his public image, but they also have the scissors in the hand to shape the fans' response. Judging by their decision to not have contacted Brook as of yet, they're aiming for something different this time around. As for who they'll be contacting at this point is still anyone's guess. But interesting how he worded that. You as a writer, man, what do you think, he was feeling at the time?
Well, I think he was definitely trying to paint the narrative for Brook, right? I think he was definitely trying to create the opening storylines of this fight, where it's like, basically we've been wanting Bud to step up, and now comes the savior in Brook to give him that validity as a fighter in Crawford, and to also be a fight that could resurrect Brook's career. Like, this is not the narrative I see, but this writer's done a very great job in making me at least shed some light on it. You know what I'm saying?
PG Darrow, good morning. That's the fight he needs, Bud versus AB. But look, AB wanted $20 million to fight Devin, and I get it. He put an absurd number out there for Devin because it's a lose-lose situation. We had AB's trainer on, Kevin Cunningham, and Kevin told us, like, what does he get out of beating Devin? If he beats him, he was a young guy that was untested.
He was supposed to beat him.
Exactly, and if he loses, he's done. So that's not the case for Broner versus Crawford.
Not even a little bit.
That's a big fight that Crawford would still be expected to win, would still be a heavy favorite, but it would probably help out Crawford in the long run in the popularity department a little more. But the author poses another question. He says, Brook is brimming. I'm telling you, these guys must be UK, brimming with confidence. So again, this is what I'm saying. Like, this guy is campaigning for the Brook fight. I am not. Is Brook one of the better options out there that are left over?
Sure.
Maybe, honestly, because his last 3 opponents have been and they're not on anyone's level.
But you got to look at the totality of it. You know, are you talking about him as an opponent, him as a person who could win the fight, or are you talking about commercial appeal? So if we're talking about commercial appeal and what it does to Bud's credibility and what it does to his popularity, that's there. That's there. You can't take that away from Brook.
Let me tell you something, bro. Brook has 0 commercial appeal. Brook has one fight in 2014 versus Porter on Showtime, the lesser network at the time. In 2014, HBO was still in the game. HBO was still the premier channel, and everything HBO did with a decent A-side got over 1 million. Different story for 2014 for that particular fight in that time. I mean, yo, we're talking 6 years ago. Who the fuck remembers him? And his Gennady fight was in the UK and UK pay-per-view. Who remembers him?
So
even
you're
the
telling
Earl
me
fight,
that
listen to
he's
me,
on the same level as Mean Machine?
No, obviously.
Okay, there you go. So it's not 0%, like you said.
But he has less marketability in the United States and does less for Bud Crawford's resume and overall star power than Amir Khan.
But Bud can use international exposure just as much as he can use national exposure.
No, he can't. Because guess what? I'm gonna explain my reason. And you know, obviously stand on your shield. If he can, cool. Make your defense, because mine's is, why the fuck do I care about your international exposure when that ain't buying a pay-per-view? And me and Earl gonna be a pay-per-view in America. And right now, I'm suffering in American pay-per-view buys. I got 50,150. I need to up that. Not international fans on Instagram. Fuck your subscribers on Instagram right now. When we talking the big fight, A-side, B-side, who brings in more? That's the problem. That's why this fight ain't been made. If my man was selling 500,000-600,000 pay-per-views like the rest of these guys, they'd be trying to make that fight because dollars make sense.
You know, I asked you that question, and now you just made that same point. You realize that? I asked you, is this whole thing boiled down to you believing that Bud's not a draw? And you just accused him of not being a draw. You feel where I'm coming from?
A pay-per-view draw. I was specific the last time you tried to slip this one in. I said, listen, look up his numbers. I think he does good numbers in ticket sales, but he does horrible pay-per-view numbers.
By the way, I did confirm the 8,000 for the horn. Listen, okay, I get the distinction. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to sandbag you or anything like that. Here's the thing. Look, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, as far as, you know, these guys building some sort of clout, you know, without each other. Or, I'm sorry, Crawford building clout without the PBC guys. How does he do that? Well, he does that with what is left. And you're trying to tell me, this is the argument, this is the basis of our argument, that Kell Brook isn't one of the more meaningful fights left out there for him outside of the PBC. So that was the point we were talking, and there's no way that can be true. You understand? Like, there's no way. Kell Brook is one of the most meaningful fights. He doesn't have 0 credibility. He doesn't have 0 commercial appeal, because that's what you've been arguing
he's
about
not
with
ranked.
the guys he's been fighting.
He's not ranked, bro.
Kell Brook, okay, was Kell Brook become the biggest win on Crawford's resume, or is it still Horn?
So funny you said that. Let me see if the author, I think the author posed that question, but he posed it in numbers. Or maybe
he has to be listening then, because we've been talking about that way too much lately.
I seen that somewhere. It's not in this thing, but they said does Brook become Crawford's first, second, third, or fourth biggest win? And you know, it is his first biggest win. That is the sad part, and this is why we can't do this, because if we're talking realistic, honest boxing fans, Barbershop talk, Brook has a better resume than everybody on Crawford's resume, and Brook has accomplished more than Khan, Kavalaskis, and Horn. It could be argued again, Horn, because of his controversial win, but he has no secondary welterweight win. His secondary win comes to Safada at 160, and now he's fighting a welterweight in Australia, son of a I don't know, legend, I guess, but it's a cash grab. Like, he doesn't have a secondary welterweight win. Brook at least has a secondary welterweight win, or does he? His biggest win is Sean, and his secondary win is who?
Well, let's take a look at the old. This is our Jamie. BoxRec is our.
He's not even on BoxRec. That's the sad part. Not for 147, and that's why I'm telling these Bud fans, let's stop grabbing onto this bullshit option unless you want more rocks being thrown at this very glass house.
Well, yeah. Listen, I hear where you're coming from, and I get what you're saying, but I think you're being kind of pessimistic
George
about
Foster backing you up, saying that Kell Brook hasn't accomplished more than Khan. What? What's Khan's biggest win? Malinaji?
I mean, listen.
Maidana at 140, which is what year? 2008.
My man. I thank you for chiming in there, because I wasn't gonna say anything because I just didn't want to get into it. I know you don't like when we big up our favorite fighters, and you think it's preposterous in certain ways. So I just didn't say anything. But yeah, I'm gonna let you. I let that one slide. I probably won't let it slide again. But listen. Amir Khan.
No, honestly, what's his biggest win? What's his biggest win?
What's Khan's biggest win?
Yeah, they're saying that he accomplished more than Kell Brook.
But when you say accomplished more, are you talking we're talking money, titles? Because I
accomplished in
everything.
Boxing. Like we're talking. I mean, if you want to encompass everything, Khan has made more money. Khan has won more titles, but has Khan won the respect of the public as a true champion?
That's such horseshit. You know why he doesn't?
No, I'm just saying, because one guy, listen, people considered at one time, I was very upset. They thought that Kell Brook was the #1 welterweight simultaneously when one time Keith Thurman was out there active. They thought that Kell Brook, because of his win over Porter, made him #1. So that's what I'm saying. Amir Khan has never universally been considered #1 in any division by anybody. I'm just keeping it real.
I think that at 140, at this brief time, there was a 1A, 1B, 1C scenario. So that's kind of it's kind of
at
a
140.
Leap there for
at
you.
140, he could have never been 1A, 1B, 1C because Timothy Bradley took over that division and Khan never fought him.
Eventually, but what I'm saying is at a time. That's why I said it. I didn't say the whole time.
Bradley
I said
gave
at
all
a
those
time.
dudes. Bradley gave all those dudes their first loss, and Khan knew what was up.
But at a time before that happened, I'm trying to tell you that those guys were A, B, C. So you can't say that he was never #1 in the division. But that said, look, what you're talking about is so argumentative. You're talking about an opinion.
Rue used the right word.
No, Porter's is the best win. Oh, well, Maidana's the best win. I'm talking about facts. We're talking titles. We're talking accomplishments, pro, amateur. I'm talking everything encompassing who had the bigger career, who did more. And that was Amir Khan. Who cares if he doesn't have a bunch of people who hated him from the beginning's respect?
Yeah, but I don't understand.
Nobody liked him coming out the gate. Nobody.
I don't understand how guys like Brandon in Cincinnati and yourself are giving Khan credit for Algieri, Collazo. Collazo was 36. Algieri, that was a bad fight for him because it was tight. Why does it matter that he beat more names than Kell Brook when Kell Brook's one name in Sean Porter beats everybody? Even Marcos Maidana, that win is 10 years ago. Let that sit in. It was 2010. So we got to just, he hasn't had a legitimate top 5 win Top 5. Like, think about that for a second. He hasn't had a legitimate top 5 win in over 10 years. Now, Rue in the 504 made a good point. He said Khan is more established, which I admitted that. He is more established, but he isn't the better fighter. Khan has been in. Okay. Listen to me.
Now you're getting into.
Let me explain. He's proven it over and over. He's proven it over and over that he's not the better fighter.
But by what standard? What are you talking about?
By losing to the upper echelon of losing to his peers. Kell Brook at least wins.
Listen to me. You're basing this off of matchmaking, basically. Listen, if Khan were to fight Porter, Khan beats Porter.
Oh,
okay.
man.
If Khan were to fight Garcia again,
please in the chat, there's not too many of y'all with us, so please just tell. Does Khan beat Sean Porter?
I'm not talking about right this second. Okay.
Why not? Why not? Porter's ready.
Well,
he's coming off a loss. He ain't afraid. You know Khan will get knocked out, bro. Come on.
No. Listen to me. I can tell you right now, I think it's closer to a 50-50 fight than you know. But I can tell you that at the end of the day, what it's not like if you're taking Amir Khan, the best version of him, and the best version of Porter, Amir Khan wins.
Listen, we're not doing that because they're both active welterweights. Why do we got to take the best? This is the best version. They both need a fight. Khan has come off the Billy Dib win, and he hasn't fought since July 12th, where he made a nice $7 to $9 million for that. And Porter is coming off of the Earl Spence loss, where he had a great pay-per-view. He's ranked number 4 on BoxRec, universal top 5 welterweight, top 3, arguably, or at least 4, right? And he hasn't fought since September 28th. So these guys are right on par. Perfect comeback fight. But guess what? Amir Khan knows. He don't want that fight, and he can't beat that fight. And that's what I'm saying.
He don't want that fight because it don't do nothing for him in the sense of making money, which he's at a cash grab, like you said.
Don't say that. Don't say that because you can't say that anymore. That's what's different. Listen to me. You can't say that anymore because Porter did a successful pay-per-view, and so has Khan. Khan lost, Porter lost in their successful pay-per-views. Khan lost, Porter lost. But they've done successful pay-per-views. You can't say that. Porter showed he's a draw. He showed it. We can't take it away. If you want to give Earl more credit than Porter, that's cool. But the problem with that is there's no way to truly gauge it. There's no way to truly gauge it.
But that's what I'm saying is most of the points you're making, there's no way to truly gauge.
Like
this
what?
Khan
Like what?
versus Brook.
Be specific.
Basically, you ranking what fights mean what. Oh, well, he's never had a Porter fight. Like, well, what does that mean? He's never had a Porter fight. He's never had a fight that what? He beat a guy that was undefeated at the time. Like, there's nothing about.
I doubt I worded it that way, but
I didn't say you did. All I'm just saying is that's what you're inferring. That's what I hear you inferring.
No, I'm saying that Brook has shown he can beat an elite fighter. Khan hasn't done that since 10 years ago. That's all I'm saying. It's black and white. Brook at least did it 6 years ago. Khan hasn't done it in 10 years. So at least I'll take the guy who hasn't got an elite level win in 6 years.
I mean, okay. I listen. I can tell you that I believe wholeheartedly Khan beats Brook now, yesterday, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, in grade school. Doesn't matter. Khan wins. He's the better fighter. You want to talk about commercial appeal and you want to wrap it all in, well, it's Amir Khan. You want to talk about legacy,
listen.
You want to talk about actual accomplishments in divisions, then we're talking Khan.
Yeah, but Mario, keep this in mind.
What fights mean to Nestor Gibbs, then you're absolutely right. Brooks got the edge on him there.
No, dog. Keep in mind, Khan isn't even an option. Like, you're trying to keep him viable because that's your favorite fighter, and that's cool. But the topic of conversation is Kell Brook versus Porter. Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford. And you're still trying to tell us that the guy Crawford already beat is more viable, more popular, more accomplished than Kell Brook. Here I am trying to be a Bud fan. Here I am trying to see how I tricked him into being the bad guy for the day. Here I am trying to be the good guy, and say that Kell Brook is a good opponent. I mean, I'm sitting here saying Kell Brook is more accomplished than Khan. I'm sitting here saying he is more dangerous. He's beaten it, and he's arguing to death how it isn't. That goes to show how bad. That goes to show how bad of an option Kell Brook is for Terence Crawford.
You just played yourself. See, you thought you were tricking me. What ended up happening was you overthought the play, reading too much of The Art of War, and you tricked yourself because you just admitted live on air that not only do you not consider Bud a draw, but you're telling me that the basis of this argument is because you want us to all agree with you that Bud's resume is crap. It's because you're trying to say that Kell Brook is so important, so big than everybody else, because you don't want us to believe in that Bud resume, because you want us to agree with the fact that you don't give any sort of accomplishments to the 147 in Crawford.
No, listen. All right, look, I'm not even gonna go into that. That's what you believe. That's okay with me. But I just want to get this. I just want to get this on metaphorical black and white. Are you saying even if Crawford beats Kell Brook, Khan is still the better win on his resume?
Absolutely, 100%.
All right. So then I think that they shouldn't they shouldn't make the Kell Brook fight then, because what do you gain if you're saying Khan's more popular? That's
the point, Ness. This is what you were missing from the beginning. What the writer was trying to say is that Kell Brook represents the best of what's left over. That's where we're at this point. The best of what's left over isn't much at all. So he needs those PBC fights. He needs to get into these fights with, the Porters, the Thurmans, these guys, right? But this is what we have left. Okay? But that doesn't mean that Crawford wasn't accomplished before this, and it doesn't mean he's not even more accomplished after this. It's another solid name on your resume, because when you go down in the history books and you give credit to fighters that beat Brook, his name is going to pop out on your resume. You give him credit. You give guys credit for beating Brook. Okay?
Yeah, his name is going to show up. His name is going to show up on Crawford's resume the way that Shane Mosley's name shows up on Canelo's resume.
No, man, that's disrespectful, bro.
What? Mosley's a legend.
Mosley was 72 years old. He had a bad
legend.
Yo, he's a legend. He's a legend and a half. Oh, he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. I'm just trying to say that you're trying to compare Kell Brook, who is much closer. He's gotten beat up quite a bit.
Let me just.
It's not the same. It's not the same. I would say Kell Brook is much closer to his prime at this time than Mosley was at that time, and that's not saying a lot, but it's saying something. It's saying something that you're not saying.
Check this out. Remember I said, or rather, the author on World Boxing News. You can find the article yourself. He said, or asked, is Top Rank spoon-feeding weaker opponents to Terence Crawford? Here is Bob Arum in 2019.
Oh, my God. I know exactly where you're going.
And I quote, "He's going to fight once this year, and then we'll see what happens going forward," said Arum to Barbershop Conversations. Shout out to Fred from Barbershop Conversations about Terence Crawford. And I quote, "The fight that he'd like is Earl Spence. Kell Brook means nothing anymore." Oh, I'm sorry. Mario sighed right there. Let me repeat that. And I quote, "The fight that he'd like is Earl Spence. Kell Brook means nothing anymore." Yeah, the Spence Porter fight is on pay-per-view. It's not going to do any business. So in order to do business with Spence and Crawford, they have to fight each other. This was Arum on his high horse when he thought, okay, hold on a minute. This was Arum on his high horse when he thought, okay, Spence did a real successful event. He almost had 50,000 with Mikey. He did a high number of pay-per-views, but that was because of the Mexican. Now he's going to fight a black fighter. No way. This is not going to do business. They could only do business with us. Spence versus Crawford is the only business. He was wrong. But this is what he felt of Brook back then when Spence was getting ready to fight Porter. What do you say to this, buddy?
I say that, you were born way too late. You should have been born like in the 50s, the 40s.
Nah, I wouldn't be good without internet.
No. Listen, you would have been one of the greatest wrestling promoters of all time. You might have been the Dominican Vince McMahon, like real talk. Because the way that you take hyperbole and the way that you take this stuff and spin it, bro, you're golden. I know you got a screenplay in you. I know you do, for sure. Yo, that is so... It's dastardly. It's really nice that the way you did that. Listen, you know damn well when Bob said that, he was in his feelings. Because Brook had essentially kind of turned them down in the media. That's what ended up happening. And before Bob could even respond to the news, he was already out there saying, well, we don't want the Brook fight. He's meaningless. He's nothing anymore. You're trying to take that from Bob, which we know that he has done before, which we know that that's how he operates. He loves you today and he bashes you tomorrow. That's his whole MO. So damn well, man. As a matter of fact, Bob probably better than anybody I know. And you, of all people, know damn well what you're doing. So just stop, man. Just stop. You know that that's not what he was saying. And that does not indicate what Kell Brook is in any way on Bud's resume at all.
More facts, man. I just want facts. I'm going to screen share just like I've been screen sharing the other facts and quotes. So right here we have another article, and this one is again on Kell Brook, and it says Kell Brook back with Dominic Ingle, unable to hit 147 for Terence Crawford. And you see the date, September 18th, 2019, right? So we're talking September is the 9th month, 12 months in the year. We got 3. We're in the 3rd month. We're talking 6 months ago, fellas. Now, let me say this. I'll preference everything I'm going to say with this beforehand. There's no doubt in my mind that an elite level fighter on the level of Kell Brook, with the finances and connections of Kell Brook and Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, can lose the weight in 6 months. But it's also my opinion that a fighter such as Kell Brook getting to 147 in 6 months is unhealthy. But yeah, I just wanted to show that in 2019, September, 6 months ago, he and his trainer, who he is back with, do not want to go into a fight. But they're saying, I'm back in training, I'm getting fitter, getting lighter, and looking to fight in the end of November, December. But that is obviously was going to be at 154, But he says, I'm looking for the big names. I feel I've got a lot more to give. I believe at this stage is going to be super welterweight. I just want you to see what he is saying. So obviously the rumors of the money for the Crawford fight are so big that he has changed his mind, okay? So I don't want you to mistake this article for thinking Nestor said that in 6 months he would get to the weight. No, he's saying 6 months ago, bruh, I can't do 147. We gonna be fighting at 154 from now on. But 6 months now later, the tune has changed. All of a sudden he can fight Crawford. So my argument has always been the same one that they're giving Austin Trout. Let this man go ahead and have a fight at 147 first to prove, that he's available and can fight in that weight class the same way they're forcing Trout. Now, I just want to show you when's the last time he fought at that weight, the special K. Kell Brook hasn't fought since 2017. That's 36 months ago. 36 months ago. And his last 3 fights have been in the range of 154, 153, 150, and 153 and a quarter. So, 3 years ago, since making 147, and let me just give you some revisionist history. When he made 147 in the Earl Spence fight, his promoter was in numerous videos saying, man, I want him to vacate. I want him to move up. It's tough for him to make 47, but Kell Brook was, he was He was determined to defend his title. He felt the backlash from social media, and he didn't want to look like he was ducking Earl, and he struggled to make the weight. And you've seen his performance. And some still thought that he gave Kell Brook, gave Earl a great fight. But he suffered from that, and that's why he decided to move up. Not only did his promoter know it in 2017, but he knew it. But he did it against his pride, right? Now, fast forward to 2019, where he took the whole year off, but he told you, I can't make 47. 2020, he goes ahead and fights at super welterweight, along with the last 2 fights he had at super welterweight in 2018. So I just don't see how this is a viable opponent. I feel like we should be able to come up with a better name for Crawford that gives him more credibility. But I do believe that this would be, I guess, paying attention to the chat, the second best win then, right? Or what, third best? Where do you rank it?
Yeah, I would call it his second best win.
Oh, so he's more credible than Horn?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Look, for me, I never thought that Horn beat Pacquiao. So, take that fight away from Horn, and that's the Horn that I see. A solid fighter, nothing against him. He's just not the guy who beat Pacquiao. But that said, man, you made some really interesting points.
No, don't worry.
God, I forgot.
Nah, listen. Gather your thoughts. I have more information. I'm trying to make sure that you can't get out from all the dirt I put on top of you as I buried you alive in this coffin. But you're not alone. J-Mac is in this coffin with you, and so is Brandon.
No. It's okay. We'll ride together. I just give me a straw to breathe, and I'll dig my way out. I promise you.
No, I hear you. Listen, I am screen sharing now Bob Arum's words.
Most of that dirt you're piling is paper thin, but go ahead.
No, paper trail. Bob Arum, and I quote, because there's a lot of fanboys.
Bro.
There's a lot of fanboys out here of, Bud, and they like to say, oh, Danny this, Danny that, Danny this, Danny that. Whichever's true, a couple hours after Danny Garcia dismantled Adrian Granados, who we have scheduled, on Saturday night, Terence Crawford's promoter determined that a fight against Garcia later this year wouldn't be worth their time. 2 weeks earlier, Bob Arum indicated to BoxingScene.com that he would again attempt to make a Crawford-Garcia fight if Crawford just could beat Khan on Saturday night and Garcia just defeats Granados. Arum 87 seems more interested now that Crawford has dismantled Khan in arranging Crawford-Kell Brook for later this year. Again, which you've seen, it was supposed to happen in 19 and it didn't because fat Kell Brook couldn't make the weight. That was editor's brackets, by the way. Going back to what I'm screen sharing. England's Kell Brook, 38-2, 26 KOs. Khan's rival is a former IBF welterweight champion. Errol Spence stopped him in the 11th round. Nearly 2 years ago. Sheffield's Brook hometown. Brook sat ringside Saturday night to watch Crawford Khan. And I quote, "You know, a lot of guys that were interested in fighting, like Kell Brook, has said that he wanted to fight Terence." Arum told a group of reporters Sunday morning. And that'll be fun. I mean, the other guys Heyman has, I'm not really interested. The other guys that Heyman has, I'm not really interested. I mean, the other guys that Heyman has, I'm not really interested in. Sean Porter isn't a real fight for Crawford. Sean Porter isn't a real fight for Crawford. Sean Porter isn't a real fight for Crawford. And Danny Garcia's not a real fight. Keith Thurman isn't a real fight. That's a real fight is Spence. So, you know, oh yeah, why do those other guys don't want to fight? I mean, this is why those offers are so atrocious, because the promoter doesn't want to make those fights. But again, I beg you to question this. Is it the promoter being cheap with the finances, or is it the promoter protecting the fighter? Like the author said, spoon-feeding weaker opponents to Crawford. Drops Mike, you're up.
Okay, let's go to, first and foremost, the editor's note, which essentially you help prove my point. The hyperbole that Arum used against Garcia, right? 1 week, it's the fight not to make. The next week, it is the fight to make. Same thing with Brook, right? Didn't that happen?
No, that was backwards. That was backwards. Before he thought Granados was gonna beat, he didn't know Garcia could beat Granados, especially not.
Sure.
Remember, no. You can't breeze over it. You asked me a question, I'm forced to speak. He didn't expect Danny to beat Granados that way. Remember, it was a one-punch clean knockout. Again, my debate and argument is the same. Are they afraid to put him in with a tough fighter?
No, absolutely not. And first of all,
so why they trying to find a broken fighter?
You're telling me that Garcia.
Why are they trying to find a broken fighter?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said, why are they trying to find a broken fighter? 2 broken orbital bones in 3 years that hasn't fought at welterweight. That sounds like someone that believes in their fighter.
Again, this goes back to exactly what we're saying. Listen, if PBC doesn't play ball, then that locks out a lot of people.
I mean, so Mario Munguia, do you need me to repeat this to you? I'm still screen sharing it.
Outside of that stable, then there is only X amount of real players left, and Kell Brook represents the best of them.
Mario, let me see if I say your name like with the Spanish accent, you understand. Do you understand? I'm still screen sharing Bob Arum's words saying that Danny isn't good, Sean isn't good, and Keith isn't good fights. They only want Spence. So what do you mean the PBC side? If they don't do this, he doesn't want them. You know, it's his words. Listen,
you're using this to make your point when you know damn well what he's doing.
My friend,
you know what he's doing.
My friend, he is telling you right now. He's telling you right now, I don't want Danny anymore. I think Crawford versus Brook is the fight to make. He's telling you. Like, I don't know what you want me to believe. You don't want me to believe what I'm reading, what I'm screen sharing?
He's a promoter. Today he wants this, tomorrow he wants that. He is building a fight, and he's building the only fights that are happening right now, okay? He's not going to come out here and say the truth. When have you ever been able to take Bob at his word on opinions like that?
Let me ask you a question.
It's just not the truth.
Who can make 147 healthier and be have a higher percentile of being better on fight night, Danny or Kell Brook?
Danny.
Okay. Who has proven to have knockout power, Kell Brook or Danny?
Danny.
Okay. Who is the more skilled fighter, Kell Brook or Danny? I think people. I'll help you. I think people would say Kell Brook. Yeah, I think people would say Kell Brook. A lot of people like his 1-2. You know. Who?
The only reason I was thinking is because I felt like you're setting me up this whole time. By the way, objection. Judge is telling you this better be going somewhere, Mr. Gibbs.
Why? I'm just
because if you're making this point, it better line up at the end.
No, these
I
are
need
just
some Christopher Nolan shit at the end here.
Nah,
buddy.
there's no. This is just facts. I'm getting unbiased facts. I'm showing.
Where is the okay? What do these facts lead to? What point are you trying to make here?
I mean, we're staying within the conversation of the screen shared quotes from Bob Arum. I'm just proving that you and I both feel Kell Brook is a better. Danny is a better fight. We're proving that by all the boxes that we're checking together unbiasedly.
So that's saying that he's not. Like
Bob Arum. Bob Arum is saying that he's not. Bob Arum is saying that's what I'm trying. Bob Arum is saying that Kell Brook is the better fight. That's all. But look, let's open up the phone lines. Look, there's a lot of you guys over here. You're on Blog Talk. You haven't pressed 1. Don't be shy. It's okay if you don't want me to know. Look, just come on, call in. It's all right. 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion. Don't forget, it's a Saturday show, so my daily TBV listeners and Patreon daily show user levels, you can call in on Skype. But yeah, man, you want to give any final thoughts? I mean, no rush. I'm just saying,
Listen, final thoughts are this. Aside from the politics of this all, aside from why the PBC top rank factions can't come together, Brook represents something on Crawford's resume, or will represent something, again, assuming he wins. Like, I mean, obviously I'm picking Crawford and he should win, but this is all based on assumption. Kell Brook would be a significant name and a significant chapter in Terence Crawford's overall career, but specifically at 147. So when these fights do happen and they line up, it starts with Kell Brook at this point, and a caller a while back said Mean Machine's win was going to mean more in the future, and that remains to be seen. So we'll see if that does happen. But regardless, Terence has done some amazing things at 147 that you refuse to give him credit for. And until he fights the people that you're satisfied with, those other fights aren't going to mean as much. But what's going to end up happening is you're going to see the Porters or the Spences on Crawford's resume as W's. And then you're going to look back and you guys, oh man, he also fought Jose Ramirez. Oh man, he also fought Jeff Horn. Oh man, he also fought Amir Khan. That's what's going to end up happening. Again,
I just think that route is a little too late. Okay. That worked for Canelo because he started young, so it was cool to pile in the names like Barrera and Mosley and Jose Cotto and Alfonso Gomez and Matthew Hatton. It was cool to do that because he was young. He was young, but you can't do that at the end of the career when the world thinks you're pound for pound number one is when we're going to spoon feed you?
Yo, that's so disrespectful. You're telling me that Amir Khan, Kell Brook, you're telling me that these guys
They're broken birds.
Abner Cotto?
They're broken birds.
Abner Cotto.
Broken birds. Their wings have been broken. They haven't had elite wins in half a decade, one in over a decade. Like, stop it, man. It's just, listen, I see Brandon out there saying that Kell Brook's the better fighter. Meanwhile, Danny's getting better wins. He's getting better wins in the now. Who is Kell Brook fighting? No one. Like, who is Khan fighting? No one. You guys are still valuing people that are not fighting. Like, you want to do a totality, overall percentage of how good that fighter is as if he's not fucking active. Dude's still active. He's not retired. Like, what has he done for us lately? What has he done at 147? But I've said enough, man. Y'all already knew what it was. I'm just showing you proof is in the pudding. They don't want to put him in nothing remotely tough. If they would pay for the Pacquiao fight. They would pay for these fights. They wouldn't be saying there's too much incriminating evidence. You know what I mean? Come on.
Listen, oh man, here's the thing. I know you. I know you're super smart, and I know that you say things in a very specific way.
I'm dead serious, man.
So when you say certain things like that, I'm just letting you know what it sounds like, and I think why Bud fans come at you so hard. You are saying these things, and it's making it sound like there's this ultimate distrust or dislike.
There's a conspiracy, bro. There's a conspiracy there.
That he is not very worthy of your time.
Bob Arum thinks that.
Okay. I don't think that
I'm not the matchmaker.
I don't think that you think that.
I'm not Bruce
I'm just
Trampler.
letting you know that sometimes those words, that the way you say it, I mean, listen, I've heard you say these things the last few days because, we've had callers call and, the conversation's gone there a couple times. So I'm just letting you know what it sounds like to me. And I've been thinking this the last few days, like, wait a minute, is he saying this about Crawford? And I just thought you thought Spence was better. But in some ways, I think that you think Crawford is lesser.
Be specific. Lesser in what? Because
in a draw, in overall, I don't think you think that he's worthy of the pound for pound attention that he gets.
I mean, he's not.
Okay.
We're still at the same thing. How do you become
there with it?
But how do you become pound for pound? How did Canelo get to pound for pound? Show me everyone's route. His claim,
okay, but I understand
his
that
alleged,
part about your argument.
Listen to me.
You've been making that argument.
Listen to me.
What
His alleged claim, right? He's been given pound for pound status because I think he did something that wasn't done since 2006, right? Is the record or the quote? Nobody was undisputed in that division since 2006. So that's his claim to pound for pound. But again, Now we've had, what, 2 fighters and 1 trainer tell us that if Jose beats Josh Taylor, and it's going to work out vice versa, my friend. If Jose beats Josh Taylor or Josh Taylor beats Jose, they had a tougher route to undisputed. It don't matter how you shape it.
Listen, no matter what, then you cannot hold Spence over Bud, because what Bud did at 140, Spence has not done, period. So you're in a situation where you're trying to tell me one thing, that Crawford doesn't deserve XYZ, when Crawford is the only one accomplishing 1, 2, 3. And I don't think that
that's the
you understand,
man.
Again, that you're when we're talking, you're talking about resume. Okay, that's fine. We had that argument. We had that debate. We've had that debate. But what we're talking about in this sense is we're talking about accomplishments. We're talking about eye tests. We're talking about all the intangibles.
Eye test. That's the only thing y'all love.
We're talking about intangibles that cannot be deciphered until fighters get into the ring. So how else do we decipher them? You know how we do that? By talking about how Kell Brook beat Porter.
Brother,
and
but other fighters are getting in the ring. Other fighters are doing it.
On me, that's now, sliding from under your feet. And guess what? It's sucking you down. It's sucking you down into that really bitter, cold idea that Bud is somehow lesser when he has accomplished more.
Brother,
it's a cold feeling.
This is the issue. Broner is a 4-division world champion, right? But but if we talk about him, I just mentioned him and Bud. People said Broner's done, right? They don't say, "Bro, you're being disrespectful. Look at what he did."
He got beat. Yeah, of course.
But why'd he get beat?
Because he's not as good as the.
Because he faced the best, my man. He fought Maidana.
Okay, sure.
No, my nigga.
He did. I'm not saying he didn't.
He fought Maidana and Porter.
He fought Pacquiao. What?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't.
The boy got balls, man. He got a stroller carrying just his balls.
Okay, so where does that point land in your argument? What does it help you decipher?
Bruh, my man over here, this is what I'm saying. These Bud fans, y'all don't do no fucking research. Not you. I'm looking at Brandon in the chat because, again, I'm chasing Patreons, not views. So I'm paying attention to the chat so it can be part of the show. When my man said Ricky Burns is a 3-divisional world champ, what's your point? Bro, that's the worst name to bring up, especially in direct conversation with Broner when he dug Broner for 2 fucking divisions, bruh. There's dozens and dozens of videos of Broner saying, if he move up to 135, I'm chasing him. And he did that. And they stalked him. And Ricky never wanted that fight. And Broner was with Al. Broner was with HBO. He was a household name on HBO. All the money was being spent on him. Rock Nation was offering him money. Motherfucking, he was a draw. So if Ricky wanted it, he could have had it. He didn't want it. He knew it. You know what I mean? But Broner at least has balls. Pacquiao, Porter, Maidana. 3 welterweights that we wish Bud would fight. Come on, man. Let me get to these calls, man. Y'all bugging, man. Y'all bugging, bro. I don't know why. It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious.
It's honestly, I'm glad you find it funny because some of the things that you said today, I don't think are very funny. I don't think that you are giving Crawford even close. Here's the thing. I'm very surprised because I didn't think you were saying some of the things that you were saying. I thought you were being put into a box where you were forced to remind everyone that yes, Crawford is talented and great, but he hasn't yet had this defining moment at 147. But that hasn't been your point at all this whole time.
Yeah, he was great at 140.
You're saying essentially, but you're not. See, I admire you saying that. At least you're saying that.
But I say that every day.
Sound like you're saying, oh my God.
You know how I say it?
You know how I say
it? You know how I say it? Yes, because I don't respect those dudes.
So then you don't respect Crawford then at 140.
No.
Because that's part of his lineage.
No. I respect what he did. Listen to me.
You don't see how you sound.
I get how I sound. I probably sound confusing. I probably sound like a hater. I probably sound retarded. And that's okay. That's okay. But this is the issue. He gets credit for being undisputed because it's so hard to do with politics. It's so hard. But your undisputed run is a vacant title, right? With a vacant titleless unification, right? And then the other 2 belts was a dude no one heard of beating a dude no one heard of. Remember, we had pros on yesterday that said, who was that guy, the African guy? Like, they don't even know him. I got to say, Julius Ndango. You know, like, they don't know him. It was Ndango beating Edward Tranowski. People don't even know. They don't know those dudes. So he did it, and it is hard to do. So he gets credit. But Earl would beat all those dudes that he fought. That's all I'm saying. So it's like, I don't see how he's being put on this pedestal when the guys you fought, you're supposed to beat. There was never a 50-50 fight. Where was the 50-50 fight?
Are you really asking me that?
Yeah.
Did you ever once consider that maybe the same type of 50-50 that you look for in Mayweather that was never there because he was so much better than his opposition could be going on with Crawford right now? That you don't see 50-50, that you don't see competitive fights because you believe in him so much?
Where's his Marquez? Where's his Marquez then?
I just asked, okay. You asked
no,
me
because
the first
I agree
question.
with
I'm
you.
sorry.
No, I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
I thought you were
I'm saying,
being
okay,
sarcastic.
I'm playing your game. What if you're right? What if he's so good, he makes other people look lesser? Cool. So then let's do your game. You pick Floyd. Where's his Maidana? Where's his Marquez? Where's his Robert Guerrero? Robert was what? 3-4 division world champ?
Champ. That's why I said in 5 years, you're going to be one of the biggest Bud fans ever.
But he's 32.
You said it's too late. You said it's too late. But I'm telling you, these fights, they're going to happen. He's going to win, and you're going to see, just like you saw with Canelo. And listen, you're the man. You're the man because
Bro,
you know what? So many people.
I am the man, and let me tell you why.
But you didn't. You allowed that man to change your mind, and you were a big enough man to admit when you were wrong. And you're going to do it again with Crawford. I believe in you, Ness.
Let me tell you. This just proves my theory right. You know, by not fighting anybody, they're waiting for Earl so that there can be an asterisk. You don't think that there's going to be a Nesta Gibbs to say, damn, they fought Earl off the car accident. Earl ain't the same. Earl got to show. Earl got to show.
Those crazies.
Earl got to show that he's the same. And until he does, they ain't putting him in nothing dangerous. They keeping him there to win for the next fight because they need him in the Earl fight. Come on, bro. But whatever, man. I'm opening up these lines. I mean, obviously we ain't on the same page. He gets all the credit in the world for 140. Good. All the credit in the world for 140, even though he never fought. Even though he never fought Mikey. Even though he never fought Regis, who was calling him out. You know what I mean?
They never fought him either. And by the way, Mikey wasn't even there at that time.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He was at 135
yes, he was.
at the time.
Yes, he was. You know, Mikey was there. All he had to do, same thing he did to all the other 135ers. He offered 135er shots before. Come on, bro. That's all.
Listen, if you didn't hear last night's show, make sure you check it out. 3 amazing interviews. 2 amazing interviews with Robert Garcia and Abner Mares. Really great stuff. Go back and check it out if you haven't checked it out.
Definitely.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
All right. Let's go out to Boomerang in Atlanta.
Lambo, Ferrari, foreign whip, made overseas. The whole money bag, dead president, 150, 2010s. I want all of it.
I want it all.
Draco, 40 cal, 9 milli, bitch.
You intrigued, just listening on us? Looks like it. Osiris Boxing, what up?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Microphone is muted. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So, yeah, I think I agree with largely what you've been saying. I think Terence Crawford, if he's not getting the fights at welterweight, he should then move down and get the better fights. I think he's wasting his time at welterweight. And for Kell Brook, he should not fight Terence Crawford at all. It's a complete waste of time for him. It doesn't do anything for him. Okay, yes, it's a title, it's a big name, but it doesn't do anything for him in the sense that Kell Brook is on record multiple times saying that he struggles to make that weight. So I don't see the point of him going to fight Terence Crawford, even though he knows he's going to kill himself to do it. He's better off going to fight other super welterweights or whatever, and trying his luck. Maybe fight J-Rock or Rosario or someone else. I don't know, but no, I don't think he should fight Terence Crawford because it doesn't help him. That's my call. And Ness, hit me up on Skype whenever you want to chat about the idea.
All right. Osiris Boxing, thanks for calling in. Let's go out to Brandon, Cincinnati. What up?
What up, Ness? What up, Mario? Shout out to y'all for the Saturday show. Got a few questions, Ness, and you can ask them. I got a few questions, Ness, and you can just answer them with a simple yes or no. You can go and get tirades. Don't matter. Who's a better fighter? Is Mean Machine better, or is Ivan Redcatch better?
I mean, Ivan Redcatch has a bigger win than Mean Machine, brother. Mean Machine's biggest win is a draw with Ray Robinson that everyone thinks he lost. Ivan Redcatch, hold on. You asked for an answer. Ivan Redcatch knocked out Devin Alexander.
And Mean Machine stopped David Avanesian, an active fighter that's still whooping ass. But I'm gonna go to the next question. And he beat Shane, and Avanesian beat Shane.
David Avanesian's been knocked out twice by fucking Lahagua. Get out of here.
I don't think either one of you are wrong. I think that's a really good question. That's a close.
He knocked out Lahagua twice. But let me move on. Who's a better fighter, Ness? Amir Khan or Adrian Granados?
Fuck, man. I mean, honestly, listen to me, Brandon. I'm being.
Stop it.
Yo, Mario, let me ask him a question. Honestly, I want you to put some sort of guidelines on it because I'm notorious for not thinking Khan is good. I picked Danny to beat him all those years ago. It's live on the show, and you know that most of us boxing fans don't think he's good because of his chin. So what I mean is, offensively, yes, you and I would agree that he's technically good, he's fast, he's got decent power, but his chin is so bad that makes him a bad. Like if he was in a video game, we wouldn't use him because we know the chin. You know what I mean? Like we know the chin is, you know what I mean? So that's just it, yo. Like unfortunately, Granados beat Broner in some people's eyes, bro.
Bro, that's a heavyweight reach.
I'm just keeping it G.
Heavyweight reach.
I'm keeping it G, man. Again, Amir Khan's biggest win is 10 years ago. 10
if you're keeping
years
it,
ago.
If you're keeping it 100 in your mind, then I can't hate.
Listen,
I'm sorry. You're right.
Didn't Granados beat?
I mean, you're not right.
Listen. Didn't Granados beat Amir Iman, who was a up and coming Listen, Robert. No. You can laugh. Don't laugh yet, Mario. Listen. Don't
Amir Imam. So he's better. Amir Imam's better than Devin Alexander.
Listen, don't laugh yet. Robert Garcia yesterday on this show said that Amir Imam was a better fighter than Thomas Delorme, and Jose Ramirez beating Amir Imam in a vacant title for the WBC was greater than Terence Crawford beating Thomas Delorme for the vacant WBO. He said that.
That's not what the question was.
I'm telling you, he values Amir Iman more than Thomas Delorme. So don't laugh at Amir Iman.
Okay, so then I'm not laughing at Amir Iman. Listen, I'm a big Amir Iman fan. Okay, I hated when he had to leave the sport when he was out for how long he was out, but. All I'm trying to say is don't pretend that there's not a distinction between the Devin Alexanders of the world, between the Maidanas.
Devin is a two-divisional world champion. Devin's first loss was to Timothy Bradley. Like, I think you guys just don't know boxing. Y'all got revisionist history.
I mean, you're talking Jab Judah.
Fickle.
Like you're talking. This is crazy. I can't.
Go
believe
ahead, Brandon. I know you got more questions.
Adrian Granados versus Amir.
Hold on, Mario.
Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I mean, Adrian Granados' last 3 fights.
No, let him get off.
Listen, Adrian Granados' last 3 fights. I am gonna let him get off. Adrian Granados' last 3 fights were tougher than Namir Khan's Billy Dib fight. Come on, bro. Like, let's just be fair. Why we can't be fair? That's all. Go ahead. Ask me some more, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm looking at Danny's resume at 147. He's got wins over Paulie, Robert Guerrero.
Okay.
Paulie's a natural 140.
Paulie's a two-division world champion, welterweight champion, and a 140-pound champion. Robert Guerrero's a 4-division world champion. What else you want? I'll give you all the facts. I'll give you all the facts.
That was Ricky Burns, but
all right, and that's why I'm saying it, because you was in the chat, and look, I admire you so much. I like your conversation that I told people what you typed, so I made your comment relevant on the show. So don't try to discredit now when I'm saying someone else is a multiple division champ. I gave your fighter the credit for beating a 3-division champ. Don't hate, because Robert got more divisions. Hater.
You got Sam Vargas, Brandon Rios, Adrian Granados,
Keith Thurman.
Lost to Keith. Got his ass kicked.
You counting the wins? Okay, no problem. I'm sorry, you counting the wins? Okay.
He's got Brandon Rios, Adrian Granados, and Ivan Redcatch. Are those world beater welterweight wins?
Brandon, you are right. You see, this is where the logical me is at, Mario. Check this out. He's right. Those are not world beaters. If anything, they could look at me as hypocritical because those guys are on the same level as the guys Terence Crawford's fighting. But the difference is Danny attempted to be great 2 times in the welterweight division. He lost. No knock on losing. But he tried to fight the elites, and he did share the ring with the elites in the welterweight division 2 times. I'm just waiting for Crawford to do the same.
But I'm getting old. He was forced to fight
getting
guys,
old.
Man. He did not want to fight them guys. He was forced. Man. He was forced to fight
Brandon, check it out, please. No, listen. You know I always give you extra time where guys pay for this, all right? Try not to lie, because I'm going to be cutting your time. Don't say
what did you lie about?
Mario, by saying a fighter was forced into a unification on fucking Fox PBC. The biggest payday of your career. Don't say what you think he meant when he used the word force. Okay, and that's all I'm asking. All I'm asking is, if I'm gonna bless you with extra time to make the show better and debate with a true Bud fan, don't lie, because we trying to get facts.
Well, you know damn well Danny said, "I just moved to welterweight. Why those guys want to fight me? I just moved up here." He didn't say that. When Keith and Sean wanted to whoop his ass and welcome him to the division, he didn't want them guys. Man.
You talking about in 2000? You talking about in 2015 when he fought Peterson? Or you talking about 2014 when he fought Mauricio Herrera and Rod Salka?
Man, whenever he moved to welterweight, he said, "I just moved up here. Why do you want to fight
me?" So wait a minute. So you're saying when he moved up to welterweight? No, listen. He's saying when he moved up to welterweight, right? Okay, his first fight. I'm gonna let you go because I think you need to do some research. His first fight at welterweight was Lamont Peterson. Anything above 140 is welterweight. Second fight at welterweight, and mind you, Peterson was a one-time champion. He had a belt at 140. I think it was the IBF, and then he lost to Matisse or the WBC, something like that. But he had a title. Paulie, 2-division world champion. Second fight at welterweight. Robert Guerrero, 4-division world champion. Second fight at welterweight. Samuel Vargas, common opponent with how many welterweights? Oh, and by the way, Mario, he dropped Amir Khan. Keith Thurman, unified welterweight. You know, Brandon Rios, nothing major at welterweight besides losing to Pacquiao, I think, right? I don't really know. I mean, nothing really. But he handled them, you know. He didn't go 12 rounds, you know. He didn't get hurt, you know. None of that. Remember, Brandon Rios was linked to, guess who? Gamboa. Brandon Rios, when he was undefeated, was supposed to fight Gamboa undefeated, and it was supposed to be a pay-per-view. And what happened? Gamboa pulled out. So let's just, keep that in mind in retrospect. What would Brandon Rios? How could Gamboa knock out Brandon Rios? I don't know. Okay, Sean Porter. You know, we already talked about how tough Adrian Granados is. Look, let's go into Granados, he's like the 140, 147 pound Gabe Rosado. You know, Gabe Rosado flirted with 54 and 60, right?
No,
so
that's a good metaphor.
So he's got one knockout loss, and that's to Danny. He's got 8 losses, this kid. UD with Robert Easter, 10 rounds, right? Sean Porter took him 12-round decision. Adrian Broner, 10-round decision. These are elite-level names. You know, Robert Easter, I'm not putting him elite, but he won a world title and he defended it, okay? Brad Solomon, 10 rounds. Felix Diaz, gold medalist. People give Crawford credit. It took him 10 rounds to beat Granados. You know, Kermit Cintron, multiple division former world champion, split decision draw, 10 rounds. Frankie Gomez, up-and-coming hot prospect, majority decision, 8-rounder, you know, all 8 rounds. Leonardo Tyner, tough-nosed veteran, all 8 rounds, you know. Even the first loss of his career was all the rounds in the fight. Like, you can't disrespect this kid. Like, look, I get it, Mario. You know me better than they because you've been here for almost 8 years, bro. So you know, when I first started, a guy like Granados wouldn't get respect.
You're right.
But we see now. We know. We got to evolve. We got to learn. And, yeah, just like I'm giving Gamboa a certain level of credit, but that's also has to be factored in that he was smaller. He had a weak chin. Same way with Khan, I factor his chin. Like, I don't see why people don't see that. Like, I'm just being fair, honestly.
Look, and this is the biggest issue I have with this is that I do remember that. And the fact that, you know,
I used to call fighters Euro bums.
Euro bums, yeah. We used to use
and
bums
use the
a
word
lot more
bum.
in general.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Adrian Granados, you would not have been a fighter that I would have thought you gave respect to. So the fact that you are showing, like, I hate to try to talk against you because I'm a big fan of Granados, but I can't even believe we're having this debate. Like, I just feel like that's just not even a debate to me.
Listen, man, the truth is the truth, man. He's a tough fight for anyone. And let's be real, if you go through these fights, you know, not a lot of these losses were at his natural weight. These were big fights that he had to take and jump outside of his weight to make the money.
Listen.
What?
No. Look,
he was daring to be great. He was there. The same thing I'm asking Crawford to do. Go ahead and fight Patrick Teixeira to build your name. That's all he was doing. He just kept trying. Oh, you want to throw me Sean at 47? Fuck it. Oh, you going to throw me Danny? You know I'm a 40-pounder.
You can't compare these two in their situations.
I can't. Crawford is well off. I can't. Crawford is well off. off.
He deserves to be treated like an A-side.
Look at that.
Whereas
I love
Granados, you know, is not monumental, but he's, you know, categorically the B-side.
Yo, I love it, Brandon. I love it. He said Hank Lundy versus Adrian Granados. I like that fight. Who wins? And you know I love Hank. I think I got Hank scheduled and everything. If we didn't have him on already, he's scheduled. I promise you. Homie, Granados beats Hank. He too tough. He's too come forward Mexican style. He's too much. Beltran beat Hank. John Molina beat Hank. Mexican style's gonna beat Hank, bruh. It's just the truth.
You would listen to a debate. It's not it's close. Is it close to a 50-50 fight to you? I mean, is it like 60-40?
It's a tight fight. It's a tight fight, but I'm leaning Granados, bro. I'm leaning Granados. Granados also been in with
FYI,
the
we already had Lundy on.
We already had him on. Damn. Listen. Granados definitely is the favorite. He's been in with the tougher level of opposition. First of all, Amir Iman, that win is bigger than anything Hank has done in terms of win. What's Hank's biggest win? He upset a few dudes on Friday Night Fights, but I got to go through his resume. They dudes that y'all don't even remember. You know what I mean? Like a Williams, someone named Williams, maybe a Danny Williams he upset or something like that. But I'm telling you, y'all wasn't watching Friday Night Fights. You see these gray hairs right here, they over here. Y'all wasn't watching Friday Night. I can't point to it looking at the camera. It ain't a mirror. But y'all wasn't watching Friday Night Fights. You look at Handy. You look up Hank Lundy's early career on Friday Night Fights when he used to say, "I'm made for TV. I'm coming to a TV near you." Bruh, he got a couple of upsets there, but what's his biggest win? What's his biggest win?
And Raymond Serrano and Delvin Rodriguez. They were the quintessential Friday Night Fight guys. I miss Friday Night Fights so bad. We had talked earlier this week about the Steven Espinosa being on the Showtime podcast, and we were talking about how ShowBox is one of the last place left for those guys. So,
dude,
I wish they were a little more competitive though.
Delvin, Paul Woolak, like these dudes don't know what Friday Night Boxing, man. God. They don't know about Friday Night
when
Fights.
They got it in?
Yeah, they did such a good fight. They got graduated to HBO for the second one, and then then Rodriguez parried that to a Cotto win, a Cotto fight rather, a Cotto fight.
Yeah, he got knocked
Let
out,
me go out to Mastermind. It's been a long time. Where you been at, champ? That road treating you good? I gotta find a new truck horn, man. Anybody want to help me find a better truck horn? I feel like my truck horn is like a train horn. It's like the long, I need a. Choo-choo. I need a nice truck horn, but anyway.
BoxingVoice.com.
Oloki, you are next, my friend. Por eso lo vuelvo a repetir. La era del Canelo es la mejor porque peleó con los mejores. La suerte es para los mediocres, my friend.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo, what up, Ness? What up, Mario? How y'all doing this morning?
All good,
doing
man.
Well.
Just killing these Bud fans, man. One Bud at a time. One Bud Light at a time. Crushing these cans.
Real quick. Real quick. Let me get that round of applause if you got it, Ness. That sound clip.
Oh, man,
that's for you.
You should have texted me, man, because you know it's gonna take me a minute to find. Let me see. I know there is one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Here, I got it.
Well, you getting a stat?
There you go.
Hater.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you a mop and some towels, man. Clean up all that blood you got from this little slaughter you done did today. I don't normally call on this topic, but I gotta give you props, big dogs. I enjoy watching the massacre. So keep up the good work, champ. That's all I got.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I can't believe I still haven't located this stupid. Oh, there goes clap. It's so empty, though.
You won the Oscar, bro. You won the Oscar.
That one when
the acting you've been doing today.
Listen. It's all good, champ. It's all good. I've been attacked by the angry mob all the time. It's all good. It's all good. Let's see what they talking about in the chat, though. Let me make this a little larger here. And see if we can't get everybody involved. It's a great fight for Brook. Who is Mr. J. Duke? It's a great fight for Brook. Absolutely. For Brook, it's an opportunity. AB lost to all the top guys. He did. And Brook only beat one top guy. You know what I'm saying? But, yes, Galito, I'm counting L's. I'm definitely counting L's because who you won and how... That's what I'm saying. Like, damn, you won't give me no credit if I fought a heavyweight former world champion and didn't get knocked out, bro. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? And that's the problem, man. That's why I love Border Wars, man. I'm telling you, it taught me something completely different. And I have a different level of respect for fighters and what they do and how they do it, man. You know what I mean? Speaking of respect for fighters and what they do, let's go out to a guy who swears I don't respect him, but I love him.
JD, motherfucker.
There's a lot of things I like to move, so just try to get on my game on boxing. I don't know why they gonna call me for I'm a 54 pounder, but I have a brother that's at 160.
Nah, you don't respect fighters. I just sat here for the last 30 minutes listening to you shit all over Amir Khan. Nah, you don't respect the fighters. Take that back, B. But nah, man, listen, man. I agree with Mario that. Listen, Granados, good fighter, tough guy, but it doesn't compare. Didn't do half the shit Amir Khan did. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? This shit, what are we talking about, dog? Like,
we're talking about Kell
Amir
Brook.
Khan ran through Vav Judah.
We talking about what's his biggest win? I mean, if you want to go that route, I thought you asked what we were talking. We talking about Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford. Bob Arum saying that fight's next.
Well, I mean, but you took a detour. Yeah, you took a detour route and just started shitting all over Amir Khan and his accolades.
No, but the
everything
only reason,
he achieved.
but the only reason that happened was because people are trying to downplay Kell Brook. I think Kell Brook is a tougher fight. He's more durable. He has the better win, the more recent better win at least. The more recent better win, right? I don't think it's a good welterweight fight because he hasn't fought at welterweight in 3 years, but I do think he's durable. More durable than Amir, undurable, like, yo, come on, man. Amir Khan is like freaking paper chin.
Yo, I think in the midst of all that, I think that a one-legged Jose Benavidez beats Granados. Just throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? And not to shit on Granados.
Skill.
Yo,
tough guy.
You threw that out there, and it ain't stick to no wall.
No, man, I just wanted to chime in on that Granados Amir Khan not comparable conversation.
Bruh, Benavidez is
That's
living
all I
off.
got.
Yo, do you know that Benavidez is living off of a Mauricio Herrera win from almost 6 to 10 years ago? Y'all better get y'all shit together, man. Just keeping it Jeezy on y'all. Get it together, man. Granados out here fighting. Yo, listen to this, bruh. Jesus Christ, if this was my son, how proud would I be? Adrian Broner, and this consecutive, okay? Consecutive. Adrian Broner, Sean Porter, Javier Fortuna, Luis Fernandez Valdez, which is the first tune-up. He went to Mexico to get that tune-up. Another Mexico tune-up, right? And then Danny Garcia, Barbershop. Come on, man. Gang, gang.
Yo, how dope would it be if we get, like, one day into the future where we could, like, somehow, like, you know how they can clone people, like, clone them digitally, like, just to see these matchups, because I'm not even talking legends. Like, of course, everybody's like, oh, who wins, Tyson Ali? But just to, I would just give anything so that you could see the difference between Granados and Amir Khan. Like, I would just.
But what do you mean? You mean like Granados facing Amir Khan?
Yes,
bro.
Yes.
Granados, if he doesn't win, he drops Amir Khan. He totally drops Amir Khan.
He doesn't win, so you were right the first time.
He totally dropped. Let me make sure I'm logged in. Let me see here. Let me look. Boom. Nope. Accident. Oh, that's when Fortuna fell out the ring. He fell out the ring. All right.
Yo, you I just don't even like. I feel like you're trolling.
Trolling
honestly.
what though? What am I trolling?
The conversation.
How?
Like,
bro, I don't even know.
Because this is not a. I don't know. Never mind.
Bro, you know what? I'm gonna go to Chicago. I'm gonna go to Chicago. I'm gonna go to Steve, and I bet you. You know what? Let me not lead. Let me just go to Steve, man. Steve, good morning. What's going on? How are you, brother? Steve, what's going on, brother? Okay, Steve, you just listening, or yeah, I guess he's just listening. You said come back to you?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. What's going on, brother?
No, I'm here. Yeah, hey, so are we to believe this notion that Crawford is being ducked by all these guys?
I don't know, man. What's your theory?
No, I don't buy that, but I just see guys saying that they're ducking Crawford, that they're scared of him. You believe that?
I mean, I definitely do not.
He's just so great. He's so great. He's so good that they just can't see a possible way of beating him, so they just don't want to fight him. That's the notion going around. He's just so great that guys like Spence, Garcia, Porter, they want to stay away from him because he's going to get his ass beat. They're going to get their ass beat by Crawford. That's why they don't want to fight him. Which is funny because half of them guys already have an L, so what would they be scared about getting another L? If he's so great, why wouldn't they take that chance?
I don't know, man. Weak theory is what I
The only
say.
guy with an O is Spence. The rest of them guys already have a loss. But they're ducking Crawford. They're ducking him, man. You don't get it. They're ducking him.
What do you think about the Brook fight, though?
I mean, I don't know about that fight. I don't know.
Is it like Mario says, like the best of what's left?
Basically, yeah, basically. I mean, it's just like a name. It's just a name to draw in some UK fans to generate some cash. Other than that, I mean, as far as talent-wise, he's nobody. You know, if you look at just straight talent, who is he? But this is this thing we were talking the other day where the UK, they get behind their fighter. So a guy like Brooks, to them, he generates some type of cash flow. But as far as his,
what do you like better? What do you like better? What do you like better? Terence Crawford Brook or Terence Crawford Ugas?
Oh, Ugas, 100%, 100%. For me.
What about Terence Crawford Brook or Terence Crawford Lipinets?
I would say Lipinets as far as talent, if we're looking at talent.
Really? Over Brook?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't care for Brook.
What about Terence Crawford Brook or Terence Crawford Josecito Lopez?
Oh, Lopez, 100%. All the way.
All right, champ. Let me see, man.
Listen, I just want to say this to Steve. He's absolutely right. The notion that these guys are scared to fight him, that's BS. But what does exist and where those claims are drawn from is the fact that Bud is his risk to reward ratio is off. And notice I didn't say high risk, low reward because he's not a low reward. He is a very significant reward, but he is so talented that the risk even surpasses the reward. Whereas fights with guys like Garcia and fights like guys with Porter, who are very talented and incredible fighters, don't have those risk-reward ratios that Terence Crawford has. They aren't as big a risk, and a lot of them are pretty significant rewards. Danny Garcia, Adrian Broner, these guys are significant rewards, but their risk isn't high. So it's not that they are scared to fight Crawford. It's that they want what they deserve to fight such a dangerous guy because he will make them all opponents. At the end of the day, he will be the favorite against every single one of them, with the exception of maybe Spence. But we'll see where those, betting lines fall once the fight's officially made.
Yo, help me out. I'm not being sarcastic here. Who was at the top when Gennady was fighting at 160 and he had most of those belts?
Gennady?
Yeah. Who else though? Like who?
Oh, when he had all the belts?
Uh-huh.
Canelo was there.
Well, Canelo was 54, right?
Okay. My bad. I get what you're saying. So there was Jacobs, there was Kid Chocolate. There was what's his name from the UK? Daniel Gale.
That's right. That's right.
There was not Daniel Gale.
I guess
Gale.
the difference.
The other one?
Well, the difference back then also was that there wasn't a monopoly on the division, right? PBC does have a monopoly. You cannot deny that.
Definitely.
But I guess the comparison I'm trying to draw is that Gennady was the odd man out, and they got it done. And it's just the bottom line. He was the odd man out. He was the guy.
But they got it done because he was willing to be the B side to a massive A side.
Fucking thank you, brother.
But
thank you.
Crawford,
Thank you.
in this situation, doesn't necessarily deserve to be the B side.
But he don't got nobody to dance with, champ.
So, we figured this out, Ness. Me and you together.
No, I've been saying that he needs to take a low offer like Canelo, like Floyd.
Well, okay, yeah,
think
you
about
have,
it.
You have. I'm sorry.
I've always said it, and he needs to do what Floyd, what Shane Mosley did, what Clubber Lang did.
This is what it all boils down.
He needs to come to Earl's ring and step in that ring.
This is what it all boils down for you.
Yo,
you believe
Sean got in Danny's ring. Danny got in Earl's ring.
Should take a financial risk by coming in as the B-side with the smaller percentage so that he can be great and dare to be great and win and then achieve that A-side in your mind.
For me, it's not just that, Mario. It could be any play. That's what I'm saying. You guys call me Crawford hater, and I'm his biggest fan. It could be whatever play. Am I not granting him fucking my blessings on Broner? Whatever the play is to get you more popular, to help you make the move. I'm just trying to help you.
I hear you, but here's where you differ from those of us, not even those of us, but from the fighters, because I'm not going to lump myself in with them. But the fighters that keep calling and favoring Crawford and bigging up Crawford, it's because you're talking about this commercial win that he needs, a Broner, when you should be giving Crawford just as much respect for a win over a guy like Brook or a win over a guy like Khan as you would be giving Crawford for a win over Broner. Commercially, financially, no, they're very different fights. I agree. But
Broner's even a tougher fight.
Khan, no way.
Broner's even a tougher fight than Khan, bro. Broner has shown. Listen, Broner has shown left hook power in the 12th round, knocked down an elite level welterweight in Sean Porter. He banged. I'm telling you, I'm mad that we didn't put Maidana Broner as an option, so we're gonna watch fucking Hagler on Tuesday, which is cool. But we gotta watch Broner Maidana, man, because people try to overlook what he did. No.
You didn't have that as an option?
No, because people voted on their own.
Got it.
Suggested on their own. But listen, I get people saying Broner hasn't won, Broner this, Broner. Good. But he's a tougher, more durable, better test than fucking Gamboa. He's a better fight than one-legged Benavidez that couldn't move to get out of danger. Let's just be real.
He's a tougher fight than Amir Khan, but understand the styles make fights. So
he's like this, right? Like Kavaliauskas was a bit better than Broner, right? The problem with Kavaliauskas was no star appeal, but he looks more durable than Broner. I don't know that Broner could give Crawford that type of fight.
I agree, but I'll say this though. Okay. Oh man, I forgot where I was going with that. So you talk about this, notion of, Broner being the tougher fight, but for me, again, that boils down to opinion. So it all boils down for you that you want this draw on his resume. And until you get that draw that you're satisfied with, you will not be able to give Crawford the back credit.
What do you mean by draw? Draw like appeal?
Like a mass appeal, like a commercial appeal.
No,
right?
man. Listen, him fighting Broner isn't for me to give him verification that he's as good as you guys say he is. Him fighting Broner is just to help him build his case to get to the big fight.
Got it. Okay.
I'm just trying to help him position himself.
I got you now. Perfect.
I'm trying to help him position. Look, if he fights Brook.
I agree.
If he fights Brook, he might get some sort of percentage of the hardcore fans that like that fight because, again, Brook is a durable fighter. Mm-hmm. But there's still an asterisk there. Which Brook are we going to get? Remember, he hasn't fought at welterweight in 3 years. And he got 2 broken orbital bones each side. So it's you know what I mean? You could go with Brook and get some decent credit from hardcore fans, but still questions, right? Or you could go with Broner and get some decent credit from hardcore fans, right? Because some people will give him credit, some won't. But you know what he will get? He'll get marketability from the Broner fight. It'll be his biggest fight till date. It'll do the best numbers it's done. He'll get the most exposure on ESPN because of how AB is. They need to position him in the right fights. Benavidez' fight was beautiful. He had the dude to bring the fire out of him. He threw fists at the weight. That's what we need. If it ain't what we need, Mario, why when they doing the Amir Khan promo, they got a replay of Crawford throwing the punch on the weigh-in? Something that shouldn't be glorified, but they're doing it because they know it sells tickets. So let's stop acting like we don't know how to position him. Let's stop acting like, oh, Ness, this ain't how it's supposed to be. You mad? Wait, why you acting like that? These guys should just fight. No, the fuck they not. Anthony Joshua ain't just fight Wilder. Canelo ain't just fight Gennady. Gennady didn't just fight Andre Ward. Andre Ward didn't just fight Sergey Kovalev. Like, so stop it, man.
So you're
act
saying
like you don't know
that,
boxing, bro.
You're
It's so
saying
crazy.
that you don't even think Spence and Crawford is ready yet?
I mean, Spence obviously has another plan. They've been saying that shit for
I'm
years.
I'm just asking in general. You don't think Spence and Crawford is
obviously
ready?
now with the freaking accident, no. Because I don't want to continue to have the same argument that like, he beat Spence, but he got him right out the accident. Why you think I'm saying that Canelo might do that? Because that's his MO, right? According to people, his MO is to pick the wounded bird. So I'm saying, what if he goes and gets him? But
so the question,
Crawford won't get credit, like y'all said. That's what y'all saying.
You're 100% right. The question, though, my question more was like, do you think that from a promotional standpoint, forget the accident, let's pretend it didn't happen. From a promotional standpoint, is Crawford and Spence ready? Because it sounds like you have mixed feelings.
Listen, it could be ready, and I'll use history. Gennady was notorious for bad numbers. He did 170 with Jacobs. He did like 170 with David Lemieux. So if I had that same thought process, I would say, oh no, Crawford Earl isn't ready because Crawford hasn't done a successful pay-per-view. But then I would be shooting myself in the foot because Gennady did 2 unsuccessful pay-per-views, but then in his fourth, because he turned around, he went to Brook first. So in his 4th pay-per-view, he did 1 million buys with the right dance partner in Canelo. So Crawford Earl could be the right dance partner for each other. Plus, we seen how it looks, man, when they meet up. It's gonna be fireworks. I'm on board with all of y'all. The fight is the fight that we need to get. But the question is how we get there. We got to stop crying about reality. Reality is Earl got options. Just like Floyd had options. Floyd didn't fight who you wanted. Floyd was more intelligent. See, Earl needs to be taking this and becoming the bad guy. Put a poll out. Who you want me to fight? What did Mayweather did when we put a poll out? When he put a poll out. He didn't fight the guy you wanted.
Nope.
He don't never fight the guy you want. He fight him when he's good and ready. And that's how you saute it. But you got to be a good bad guy. You got to be a good bad guy. And you got to be a good troll. Crawford needs to troll. Islandri Lara trolled Canelo. Bernard Hopkins grabbed the Puerto Rican flag out of Felix Trinidad's hand, threw that shit on the floor and stepped on it. Like, come on, man, look. Oh, Andre Ward's going to say, oh, why black men got to be ignorant? That ain't about ignorance. Entertainment. How many views per episode on Love and Hip Hop? And they got like 30 fucking seasons. million plus every episode. Because we entertained. We entertained. I don't watch it anymore. Honestly, I'm being dead honest, though. I watched hella seasons, hella different states. But obviously, you know, once we started doing morning shows, I just got more consumed in the work and less time for television. But even I got drawn into that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. It's entertaining. You're absolutely right. I think, though, that the disconnect here is that because I respect everything you said, and I can appreciate the suggestions. At the same time, I wouldn't suggest that Bud go out of himself. You know what I mean? I wouldn't suggest him.
Me neither. I'm suggesting
he's not.
I'm suggesting put him in with the right fighters that's gonna bring it out like Benavidez did. Put Broner in there. Put Broner in there. Listen, put Broner in there. Find my interview on YouTube. Ask me for my fucking rights. Show it on the 24/7 where Broner's like, what? Terence, man. Don't nothing come out of Nebraska good, not even the bud. Like, oh, build it up. Build it up. Man, that's the biggest fight for Bud right now, but it costs money. It costs money. Do you believe in him? Do you believe? That's all I'm saying. Like, how you sign the Top Rank and they got both. They got both Vasil Lomachenko and Manny Pacquiao, and they can't get you the big fight. But y'all arguing with me that I'm the Bud hater. No, Bob Arum is the Bud hater. Why he ain't get him either of those two big fights? When Bud was at 140, and you got Lomachenko saying the biggest I could do is 138 for Pacquiao, why didn't Bob sit him down and say, yo, if you could do it for Pacquiao, how much money you wanted to do it for Bud? No, because he know he got 2 pound-for-pound stars, and he trying to keep them separate so he can have 2 draws. He don't believe in somebody.
Look, all I'm saying is this. There is a disconnect here in how much you believe in Spence versus how much you believe in Crawford. Now, you have your reasons, and they're based off of, in your opinion, fact, because of who they fought. But you look at what Errol Spence has done, where did all of this really start from? Where did his launching point begin? It was Kell Brook. The same man that you are now disparaging on Crawford's side. And I understand that there's a difference between that's not true. There's a difference between Kell Brook back then and Kell Brook now. But all I'm saying is that this all starts from somewhere. Okay? Crawford is a little older, like you said, but this is not a fight to disparage because this could be the launching point, and Kell Brook is a hell of a launching point.
No, cool, man. I mean, common opponent, I get you, but Pacquiao Mayweather did it different. Pacquiao didn't wait 3 years to fight somebody. He didn't wait 3 years till the dude had 3 fights in a different division, didn't say, hey, come back down and let's do it. That's not how Pacquiao did it, but it's okay.
Listen,
I mean, unless you want to count.
Unless you want to kind of wait. Fighting Claude and fighting Margarito. That was kind of waiting,
Bro, he fought Margarito. He fought Margarito, a guy Floyd ducked. Floyd chose to fight fucking Balderman instead of Margarito.
But you don't even believe that. You don't even believe that. So why are you bringing up? You don't believe that he ducked Margarito? What? I've heard you say that.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. If I say that AJ ducked Wilder by fighting Joseph Parker instead, what you could unify with Parker but not with Wilder? Like, you could give Wilder a higher percentage, but not. I mean, you could give Joseph Parker a high percentage, but not Wilder. Wilder gets a flat fee. So what it's the same. It's the same.
Okay, my bad. Shit. I guess I've misunderstood you all these years. I did not think you thought he ducked him. Here's the thing. Well, I'm not even going to get into that. All I'm saying is that
Margarito was considered an animal at 47.
I agree.
He was supposed to get the WBO title shot.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
And you know what happened? Let me tell you.
Just saying that
they obviously made a deal, though. Check it. There's obviously a deal that we don't know about, that we could ask Bob one day. He was supposed. Margarito wanted the shot. Top Rank is offering what? I think $8 million to Floyd at the time, and he said no. Like this is all just off the top of the head too. I don't have any articles pulled up. Like, you have to do your own research. Don't quote me on everything. This is all paraphrasing stuff that I remember throughout the years. But so it's something like, $8 million to fight Margarito. And correct me if I'm wrong. Who had Balderman at the time? Was it still Bob, or was it Golden Boy that had Balderman?
I'm almost positive it was definitely Top Rank. I mean, wait, no. I think it was Golden Boy, yeah.
Exactly. So I think that, they offered him the Margarito fight. He didn't want to do it. And he did the Golden Boy fight with Balderman to be, I think, unified or undisputed, something like that. Something he did when he fought Balderman. And instead, Heyman, who didn't want to give him the Margarito fight, gave Margarito to Paul Williams, his other fighter. Like, I mean...
Yeah.
Ain't that the same thing Floyd did? Like, yo, I ain't going to fight you, Keith. You fight Earl.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. Again, the thing is that you could argue it from both sides because Floyd was destined for something much greater with De La Hoya, and that fight was already, stirring. So I don't know what's right or what's wrong. I do have an opinion, but again, I don't want to really even get into that. Wait. Aside from the point.
Did the WBC strip Haney? What is this Carlito talking about? That's not true. Because we got Haney scheduled for Wednesday, but Haney said on a tweet like, "Oh, I'm healthy and I'm gonna fight versus Javier Fortuna or something like that." I don't know. I think you're wrong about that. But go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm just paying attention to the chat.
No. You're good. You're good. That would be breaking news.
Yeah, I mean that would be. I mean maybe check their Twitter or something. But let me get out to these people on the.
Go ahead.
On here, we got some boomerangs and stuff. Let me get to New Orleans.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from Terence.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him. You want to bet?
You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Morning.
What up? Good morning.
Morning.
Once again, Nestor Gibbs proclaims that he's not a bud hater. But all your points, all your breakdowns still constantly puts and don't give him the respect the dude did in the sport. Bud didn't beat more champions. He didn't accomplish more in the sport than Errol Spence did in one weight class. How is this dude not ready or had not done enough to get big name fights? How do people keep coming on here saying that nobody's concerned about or scared to fight him when the proof is in the fucking pudding? I mean, what boxing fan logically can't see that shit? They just realize the dude, they don't want to fight the dude. And all this, the risk, I'm going with both boomerangs. All this risk reward and shit like that, they know what it is when it come down to fighting this dude. And you get on this air, and Mario get on the air trying to tamper your fancy or whatever the fuck you trying to do, putting up this lightweight ass argument for Bud and shit like that. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do. Don't even argue Bud situation because I don't believe you. You're not serious. You're just trying to get in, go back and forth with Ness. But Ness, you a fucking bud hater, man. Something is wrong with you. You talk about me with my love affair and all that shit. You, first of all, don't talk about love affair because you got one with Canelo, okay? And that shit is weird. That is fucking weird. But you are a Bud hater. Bud then done something personally to your heart. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with your spirit and stuff like that. The dude didn't accomplish way much more. I don't know if didn't accomplish too much in the sport to be on here getting hated on by a grown-ass man. By a grown-ass man on a consistent basis. You hate on this dude over and over. The dude did too much from 135, 140, and 147. Undisputed champion in 140 his last weight class. Canelo never done that. Canelo bounced around, ducked the top guys in his weight.
Hey, J-Mac. Cut it. That's both your calls, but listen, I think you're on your Bluetooth. When you're not, send me a message. I want to bring you back. I want to ask you some questions. Let's not yell at each other. Let's just ask some real questions. Because I'm ready to massacre every single Bud fan. It doesn't matter. I'm ready. You know.
J-Mac is so hardcore about Bud that he doesn't even want me to agree.
Because he said he doesn't believe you. You're not speaking with enough passion. But
listen, it's not that. No. See, this is the problem. The passion isn't there because I'm not.
The opponents ain't there.
I'm not a Bud loyalist. This isn't about my favorite fighter's Bud or my favorite fight. This is not that at all. I'm just being logical. He deserves way more credit than you're giving him, but. This isn't some massive.
You messed up. You said but. You said but. It's over.
Exactly. That's what it is. Is like I have to be all the way on one side or all the way on the other, and that's just ridiculous. There are gray areas in boxing, and if you don't see them, it's because you're blinded by your love for a fighter.
Thank you.
Okay, I am not a fan of a fighter. I am a fight fan. I love fights and I love great fights and I love great fighters. So I love Bud. I love Spence. I love Thurman. I love Garcia. I love these fighters. But at the end of the day, I'm going to call a spade a spade. There is no massive conspiracy. If you think that Earl Spence and Thurman and Garcia, that these guys that risk their lives every day are scared, then you're crazy. And you have no understanding of what it takes to get in that ring and risk your life. Because to suggest that somebody's scared of what? Most of those guys have already lost, like Steve said. Most of those guys, what are they protecting? They're not protecting an O. You know, maybe you can make the argument Spence is protecting his O, but I don't think so. I've met Spence. I've interviewed him. I've got to know him. That man is not scared of anyone. He's not scared to lose. PBC, Al Heyman, you want to make those arguments? Yo, I'll listen. I'll listen to you, you know, because Top Rank's, you know, done the same thing. They protected fighters. Golden Boy's protected fighters. Everybody protects their fighters, okay? Once upon a time, main events started trying to protect Kovalev a little bit, you know, not as much because they weren't in that position, but that's what promoters do. But to suggest that these men who go out there are scared, it's just crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's nuts.
I mean, J-Mac, you know, he called in, and that's what I'm saying. You know, they could say I'm a hater, but just, you know, debate the facts. You know, we talked about Danny yesterday, and, you know, I'm screen sharing again because I guess he jumped on late. Hopefully you're looking at YouTube, J-Mac, and you can read what you're seeing there. These are Bob Arum's words. So, you know, I don't see how you're saying people are ducking, you know, Crawford when he's telling you right here, and I quote, he says, you know, a lot of guys that we're interested in fighting, like Kell Brook. All right? So they want Kell Brook. He said, Kell Brook has said he wanted the fight. Terence told, he wanted the Terence fight. Arum told the group of reporters early Sunday morning. And that'll be a fun, the other guys that Heyman has, I'm not really interested in. Sean Porter isn't a real fight. Crawford, a real fight for Crawford. And Danny isn't a real fight. And Keith isn't a real fight. The fight that's real, that's a real fight is Spence. So, like, I mean, this is his words, bro. Like, don't say Ness. You ducking for these fighters. You don't want these fighters to fight Bud. It's obvious they don't want to fight Bud. I mean, it looks obvious that Arum, who's in control of his career, doesn't want Bud to fight them. That's what's obvious, you know. He wants the Spence fight because it's big money, you know. And that's what I've been saying. Keep him available till you get that fight. That's what I've been saying. He's not in danger because they want to leave him available for that fight. Now they put him in with Khan, no danger. Now they're going to put him in with a broken bird in Kell Brook, no danger. But I know you got to go at 11. I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead. No, I'm good.
Oh, you're not leaving?
I got to push back. But yeah, listen, man, that's crazy because the old Ness would have gone on a tirade, would have just been screaming at him. Yo, I respect you handling it this way, and listen, I don't mind J-Mac yelling at me. I don't mind J-Mac getting mad. Here's the thing, I don't get the logic of why I would argue a point that I don't believe in. Are there some times where I argue a little harder, you know, because like I feel like I'm putting in a box, sure, and it comes off a certain way, but like the logic of that, so you know what I'm saying, and the logic of these guys being scared of each other, like to me it's illogical. It's like not even worth the time. But you know, again, I don't think that J-Mac should not get his chance to say what he wants. You know what I'm saying? And rock out. So, and for you to try to even bring him back on, like, all I'm trying to say is that back in the day, that would have ended in a scream fest, and they would have hung up the calls, and it would have been, you know what I'm saying? And now it's all, you know, it's way better.
I know that deep down inside, he just wants his guy to fight someone that he could say, I told you. I told you. That's why every time he asks the question on Patreon and the fighter says, I got Bud winning, he says, I told you. That's what this is all about. It's the same for us, you know, when we pick a fighter. We want to be right. We want to be right. And he's holding on to that. He wants to be right. He can't wait to prove me right. But that's the biggest issue, isn't it? How long is it going to take you to prove me right? You know,
exactly.
I'm getting tired of Bud Crawford fans trying to win the argument based off eye tests. Prove me right. Put him in the ring with somebody that can fight. That's all.
Yeah, listen, again, I hear the point you're making. I don't agree with it fully. Actually, I don't really agree with it at all. But at the same time, I just think that, God damn it, I forgot where I was going with it. Go to the call.
Let's go to Steven. It says, I don't really have much interest in this fight, probably because if it ain't Crawford Spence, I don't need to see either fight. I'll still watch it. of course. So there you go. You know what I mean? There's no interest in this. We can drum up more interest with Broner, even possibly Josecito Lopez. Remember, he had a good fight with Thurman. He fought Canelo. He fought Victor Ortiz. He fought Maidana. He's Latin. He's marketable. He's marketable. He's a known dude. He fought Canelo. He fought Victor. These are names that are huge in boxing or synonymous with boxing for the last, 8 to 10 years or better? Victor Ortiz fought everybody under the sun. Lamont Peterson, Maidana, Floyd, Collazo, Broner. Not Broner, excuse me. That would have been a good fight. That's a good fight to make on the comeback. I know Victor's suffering I think he had like some sex charge allegations, but I don't know. All right, let me go out I went to my Boomerang and J-Mac, and I think I got to go to alumni here.
Mr. Info Joe.
Tell them the truth, Joe. Tell them the truth.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my
Tell them the
brother.
truth, Joe. Tell them the truth.
Yo.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning.
What up, TBV?
What up?
Yo, actually, I haven't just got up, man. What is the topic again? Is it about
Kell
Brook fighting Crawford?
Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford, the next big pay-per-view. Arum says Kell Brook is next.
I don't mind the fight, man. I just don't think that he can make the weight, man. I would like to see a style matchup. Not a bad fight, man. Not a bad fight. I just if the dude is gonna be ill just trying to make weight, then it's a bad fight. But if he can make the weight, I would like to see the style matchup and just see how Crawford fights Brook, and use it as a barometer, and because we've seen Spence fight Brook. That's not a bad fight, man. What's all the hoopla about? What you say? You don't like the fight?
Well, it was not just that, Joe. It was like Ness went on an Amir Khan versus Granados. Granados is better. He just broke down everybody's resume, and people are not too happy about it. Oh, he also said that he didn't think that Spence Crawford was ready because Crawford wasn't there yet. He didn't say it in those terms, but yeah.
Not a bad fight, man. Not a bad fight. Of course, we would want to see Spence versus, Crawford versus Spence, or even Danny. But you never know, man. Brook, he has a pretty good skill set, man, and I wouldn't mind seeing the style matchup. Me myself personally. Mario, where those push-ups at, brother?
Bro, I swear, I'm gonna do them right after this. I ate and crashed. But I got you.
And put it in the chat, man. We gonna hold you to that, bro. You got up in here talking about the one-arm push-ups.
Yo, I tried to do them right after. I was like, let me see how many I could do, and I was like, nah, I don't got them afterwards. Maybe like 2 years ago I could have, but I definitely got the 50. I just don't have the one arms.
That's cool. That's cool. Hey, Ness, tell Doomsday to put the video up, man. He was talking about being involved in the challenge. Anybody out there in the TBV land, put up 50 push-ups. But, yo, that's all I got. I like the fight, man. Ain't a bad fight. But if the dude can't make weight, then it's bad. Remember last time he fought Spence, he said his eye...
Cut it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
Whoa! What's good? You hear me?
And good morning. What it do, champ?
Good morning. Look, man, check this. I mean, I don't have a problem with the fight, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like the best fight that could be made next for him, because I mean, who else he gonna fight? And then I feel like Kell Brook would be the best challenge for him so far. You know, if he can make weight, and you know, and I mean, he been taking shots to the face, so he had to say, I mean, we can't talk about the outside like that, huh, Ness? I mean, the last fight with the last 2 fights, he been taking a lot of shots to his damn face, man. I ain't heard no complications. So I like Kell Brook's skill set. I would rather, all right, check this out. Would you rather have a Mid-Con fight or the Brook fight when he fought Con? You were mad. You would rather Brook, right?
Yep.
Or you was banking on the Con fight. I know you weren't worrying about.
I wanted Brook. I would have. But I don't want it now. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't want it now. Listen, he's asking this specific question, Mario. Would you rather had Brook when he fought Khan? Of course. I'd rather have not. You know, I'd rather have neither. But if you making me choose, I want Brook. He's more durable. You know what I mean? We got. I'm sorry, okay, guys, but it's only been literally 5 minutes, so I know that's not the fastest you would want, but you got to remember, Info and NO are alumni. But Steve, your counterpunch, JT said you have one, so go for it. Steve in Chicago, am I wrong about this?
Yeah, no, I said it again. Hey, this is what I wanted to say. With these guys, ask these guys, I had to go look myself. Ask these guys that call in that want Brook, who's the last 2 guys Brook fought? Let's not go in the past, you know. Who's the last 2 guys this guy fought? Do you know?
I mean, I could pull up the names, but they're not.
Yeah, you got to pull up the names. Exactly. I'm telling you, man, Brook is a waste of time for Crawford. He's a waste of time. There's so many other better fights for Crawford. And like you said, no one's saying Crawford isn't an elite fighter. But the problem is he's an elite fighter fighting average fighters. We want Crawford to fight talent equal to his level. And he's not doing that.
Cut it.
All right, so for those that are just tuning in and that don't know what Steve just activated, the counterpunch is the ability to come back on the show, similar to a boomerang, but instead of paying that monthly fee to be a boomerang, you do it spontaneously whenever the conversation, triggers you enough to activate a counterpunch by putting in a $5 Cash App to NESGTO. The reason we're doing Cash App and not Super Chat is because obviously as these are private videos, we don't have those abilities to do that. We're going out to Trey. What up? Oh, shit. Trey, not you. J-Mac counterpunch. Sorry. J-Mac, you ready?
I'm in T-Mobile. I got to take care of something.
All right.
I'll ask you later.
All right, no problem. So, Trey, you are up. If you're just listening, going once, Trey, twice, Trey.
Me? Which one?
You are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you wildin', man. So who do you want him to take the low ball offer from? Is the question.
No, but it's not about, that's what I'm saying. Don't make it about low ball offer, because I'm not trying to argue with people. I want him to do whatever he got to do to get the big fight. So if that's fight a dude like Broner, fine. If that's move up to 54 fight Patrick Teixeira, fine. But obviously he needs more of a draw power, right? Because if he's pound for pound number 1, you don't see Canelo begging for fights. You don't see Vasil begging for fights. Who else is on the pound for pound list? What list do y'all use? Let me look it up because I don't get what's going on.
That's the only point I agree with you about. The other pound for pounds don't have to beg for a fight, but at the same time, he's just on the wrong side.
He's not on the wrong side. He's not on the wrong side. Oscar De La Hoya was created by Top Rank. Floyd was created by Top Rank. Cotto by Top Rank. Look at Jose Ramirez. Look at Vasil Lomachenko. Let's stop with the bullshit.
I think Bob is just a problem. Like 1 minute he say, oh, he want this opponent, then he a diss the opponent. So you can't
cut it.
See, I agree with you, Trey. Bob to me is kind of the problem, or he knows something we don't know. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Or they got the long-term plan, like, yo, we not putting them in nothing dangerous until we get the Spence fight, because that's the big money fight. Like, but something got to give. Come on, man. We not crazy. Caller after caller is like, would you rather Brook or Lopez? Lopez. Like, look, man, like people rather a different loser than these losers that they picking.
Let me ask you a question. In the Broner fight, because you said you would like Crawford Broner, like that would be acceptable for you. Would you expect?
Because I know what
Crawford
it does
to come
for
in?
him.
No, that's fine.
It's
that's
not
fine.
because
I
it's
agree.
acceptable. It's what I know what it does for him as a fighter.
Brother, I agree. I understand.
I just got to keep reiterating it that way. I don't want people to think that all of a sudden I'm a PBC fanboy and that's why I want him to fight Broner. No.
I feel you. They'll paint you in that box. I hear you. That's a good point. This is all I want to ask, because earlier you said that you think that Crawford, with certain guys, should come in as a B-side, take lesser percentage just to get the fight. Do you think that he should do that with a Broner?
No. What the hell? Why?
I just want to make sure.
I mean, listen, I only think that they need to do whatever they can do to secure the Broner fight. Whatever that is.
I'm not at the extent of making Crawford look like a fool.
I'm not putting him in any box. I'm not going to say, yo, you got to take short money. Yo, be the B. Let your promoter do what they got to do to secure that fight for you. Listen. All right, let's do history. Porter used Broner, right? Or Broner was going to use Porter, but it backfired. Let's be honest. Broner's always been the house fighter. It backfired. But Broner's been in with everybody. Everybody's faced them. Pacquiao, Mikey, Porter, McDonough. They use them to get bigger. You fight Broner, you get a pay-per-view. Or you are a pay-per-view. Think about that. Like, what I'm making sense. It's just people like, oh, no, Broner can't fight, or Broner's too small. Broner, he's not going to, what version are we going to get next? Broner's done. Yeah, all the same things I'm saying about Kell Brook. But it does nothing for Crawford. At least the Broner is a win-lose. You're a lose-win, where Brook is like lose-lose.
Here's what it does do, though. It does keep him happy in terms of money. It does keep.
He gets more money in a Broner fight than he does in a Kell Brook fight.
That's true.
Because ain't nobody. ESPN ain't letting
I was
Crawford.
Thinking about percentages and how they would go, but you're right, because ESPN, by the time you got to do with the site fee, and by the time you got to do with numbers,
they're not letting Crawford go to the UK where Brook is a draw. They're not doing it. If Fury can't go, I doubt Crawford could go.
There's no word on where the fight would be yet.
No,
but
listen.
You're right.
I'm using history. Look, Fury.
I get you.
Fury couldn't fight in the UK with his deal, and neither could Vasil. Vasil had to make Luke Campbell come over here. Remember?
I remember.
Did they fight over there, or am I mistaken? I thought they fought over here. I'm gonna have to check. You could check. I think they fought over here. Troy, talk to me. Boomerang.
Gentlemen, good morning. But one, Broner, like you said, is a name brand, but it's not quality. He should have took the Porter fight, because what you have with Porter is name brand and quality. Broner's last win was in 217, so Broner is just that, a name with no substance. He's not going to move your needle or get you anywhere.
He going to move the needle. He going to move the needle, though, Troy, because he's proven that.
He's going to get some fan. Okay, we've had these conversations before. Do you want fans for right now, or do you want follower fans that will stick with you?
Listen,
that's what Porter would
Terence
do.
For Terence Crawford, the ultimate goal is the big fight with Earl. So I want fans for right now. I want fans for right now because we working one fight at a time, right? We can't get him to the Earl fight overnight. Obviously, Earl has a lot of things going on. Besides his options, he's got the unsureness of where he's at in his career, right? So in that meantime, let's make Crawford hot in the street. How do you do that?
That's what with Porter, but he turned that down because he's chasing titles and all that stuff. But I'm gonna make another point with you. You talked about loving. You were trying to make the point about loving hip hop and ratings, and that's what you need to do sometimes to put on an act. Blackish actually has the higher ratings than Love and Hip Hop.
Not act. I said you aren't in the entertainment business. You need to entertain, and I showed that entertaining brings in numbers by bringing up Love and Hip Hop is what I did.
Right. But that don't mean you have to haul yourself out there and be something that you're not.
No,
there's
and
a lot of great fighters.
And I said you don't have to do that. Remember, I said just put him with the right fighters like Benavidez that brought out the right entertainment. That's what I said. I don't want him to act out. Put him in with the right people. That's why you putting him in with Broner.
I got you. But if the right fighters are not taking your offers and not taking your money,
Broner is the right fighter. That's oh my God. You don't get it. I can't, man. I can't give y'all more time if y'all like blind and insane. Jesus Christ. Stop shooting for the fucking stars. You're not on that level. Stop asking for the guys you know you can't get. Let's build you there. These fans are fucking crazy, bro. You can't even help them with their own fucking plan, bro. I'm done, man. I'm done, bro. I can't no more. I went to Joe. Israel's the last person. Talk to me, Israel. It's unbelievable, bro.
Hey, Nez. Good morning. Good morning, Mario.
What up?
Morning.
Hey, I don't hate Broner. I saw a picture of him yesterday. He looks pretty fit. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's a little pessimistic. I don't think Errol's fighting this year. I said that pre-coronavirus. So I think people need to quit getting their hopes up on that one. And that's my call, Nez.
Man, more and more people are starting to come out and say that. And actually, I thought he said that maybe a couple days ago. But more and more people are saying that Earl's not going to fight this year at all.
I mean, look, with the coronavirus, maybe not. But, I mean, December's a long time away. Let's go back out, too.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it? I'm killing this mother.
Why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
What's up, Ness?
Good morning, Charles.
What's up, Mari? The difference between Bud and these other fighters, Broner is not a good fight for Bud. Kell Brook probably would be the better fight, but he damaged good. Bud will stop both of them. He'll destroy Broner. I mean, Broner will put up a fight, but he'll get his ass whipped. He not be no top welterweight. You know, he's not that name no more. We already seen him try to fight Pacquiao, a few other fighters. That's not a good fight for Bud. Bud is past that level of a Broner and stuff like that. The problem is, if we want to look at the two fights, you say Canelo. Everybody won't fight Canelo because Canelo looks very beatable because he is beatable and stuff like that. He just have judges, everything stimulations with him. Nobody won't fight Bud because that's a high risk fight and stuff like that. They might not be scared of him. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, even Errol Spence. Errol Spence want to fight him, but they the promoters and everybody know around him. That's a tough.
Cut it.
Usually me and JT agree when it comes to this Bud. Like we really ain't on. But I you're wrong there, man. You're right. Both them fights ain't good for Crawford, but the best one is no difference than the last question. Like, which is the better of the two evils? Broner's the better of the two evils. He's gonna give you the cachet. He's gonna give you the press conference that you need. He's gonna give you the weigh-in that you need. He's gonna give you the casuals that he needs. I disagree as well. He was specific in saying like, "Yo, Broner's done." Look at his last fights. Yes, done in the ring, not in numbers. He did 400,000 plus with Pacquiao. Yeah, it's Pacquiao. Cool, but he done it. He done it. The popularity is there. Always a million plus when he's on HBO. I mean, Showtime, and when he was on HBO for sure. You know, Showtime numbers dipped a little bit. I won't deny that. But yeah. Let me go back out to the Intrigue, who says he might have been sleeping, huh? What's going on? You supposed to be awake when we Bud bashing. Sleepy time, what up? Intrigued. Oh, you want a second intro?
Okay, yeah. Oh, no, I was talking on mute, man. My bad.
Oh, I'm like, damn, is he waiting for another intro? I don't know, because I played it the first time. But what's up?
Oh, yeah. Nah, totally nice. I ain't gonna say it, but What we talking about? Bud versus.
I need you to get off speaker. You sound like you're in the laundry room. I hear the dryer spinning. You left keys inside your sweats.
Yeah, I was on Bluetooth. But yeah, it's better.
Way better.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what we talking about? Bud and Kell Brook?
Bud versus Kell Brook, next big pay-per-view. Arum says Brook is next.
Yeah, I like it. It'll be the first dude he fight with a post. You know what I mean? But, you know, like I said a long time ago, man, I think if we talking about raising his profile to build a fight with Spence, man, I would be going at the Broner. That's who I think the best partner is for him. You know what I mean? He'll destroy Broner, but that'll raise his profile the best. So that's all I got to say.
All right, hey, Mario, mark my words. When Danny Broner happens on pay-per-view on Fox, they gonna be mad that they didn't listen to me, cause you know they flirted with that fight. There's posters of that fight. We always wanted that fight, and right now both guys are not the top of the welterweight division, so they could do their own side fight.
But they have a lot of history though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's like Ward Gotti. They wasn't the best in their division, but they can make a good fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this would be. Like, people need to get off that, oh, he ain't the best. Oh, all right, cool. But when these dudes do this fight, get paid, get popularity, don't be mad that you didn't take that opportunity. Because Broner, Danny, they could do it on pay-per-view. They could do it on pay-per-view.
Enrique, salute. You're on mute, champ.
Nah, he waiting for me to hit him with his intro because
my bad.
Don't say nothing, champ, because you a star around here. You know what I'm saying? AKA Cash Weezy.
What's up, man? Yeah, I just want to say I saw fight too.
Stay focused, stay working my jab. Like boxing voice.
Because if he comes to fight, then I'm going to have to look for him.
I saw the fight too.
I think you're accurate.
Nada.
Damn, you still ain't connected, champion? Man, you on some rookie.
Remember that happened to him on the Thursday show.
Yo.
There we go.
That's not Mike though.
That's computer. This is what Enrique say. Yo, I know who Kell Brook is. Yo, he's the man. That's a good fight with Crawford, but not as good as Amir Khan was. Enrique right. Casual fan right. He knows what's up. And they're the ones that buy these pay-per-views that make them go up so much. My man, you there? Oh, he got it. Watch. Here we come. My man.
Yes, good morning.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, man. So I went to bed late, man. I'm kind of falling into a depression out here. Just shit not happening. Just walking in circles, you know. But anyway, yeah, Kell Brook possibly being Terence Crawford's next opponent. I remember we were talking about Jeff Warrington and Shakur Stevenson.
Jeff Warrington, I love casual.
What Warrington was it? What was Warrington? I have his name here. Josh Warrington. We were talking about Josh Warrington crossing taking Shakur Stevenson over there and gaining popularity. But, right, I thought about Terence Crawford. Didn't he fight Ricky Burns in the UK?
Actually, that's funny that you said that because we were supposed to check on that like 20 minutes ago. Ness brought that up.
He did fight him in the UK, but I don't think that made him any popular. I mean, at least in the US, right? So,
yeah.
Right, so is the talk that Terence Crawford faces Kell Brook in the UK makes him more famous, and then makes him ready for who? You know?
Well, I don't think they're gonna fight that. Yeah, he did fight Burns, and it was Glasgow is where it was. So yeah. But I knew the point you were making. So yeah, I don't think it does in that sense with American fans. I think that though the fight works on an international level, like, you know, do the UK fans come out and show out in America? I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure they will. I mean, they're the best fans in terms of market with boxing, American fans are smaller, but they're, super loyal and hardcores. But UK is super, super loyal to their guys. So they might come out. I think either way, it helps Crawford's point. But you recognize him as a name, right, Enrique? I mean, you see Kell Brook on a Crawford's resume.
What's a bigger fight for you, though? What's a bigger fight, Enrique? Crawford versus Kell Brook or Crawford versus Broner?
That's
Broner.
such...
Broner would be more impactful for Crawford's career in the U.S.
Thank you, casual fan. You're so smart.
He fought Amir Khan. If you ask me, that should have brought him more than what we think Kell Brook would bring, right?
Exactly. You're super smart. Mario just made that point. That Khan was more accomplished than Brook. You're smart.
Yo, stop saying that, DJ Khaled. So I mean, I don't see the real deal in this fight, but besides activity for Terence Crawford, is it pay-per-view worthy? I don't think so, man. I'm the type, again, I say this over and over, reiterate it, that I'm the type, I fall for it, I buy it, I need that boxing entertainment, if it's pay-per-view or not, or stream that I have to pay for. I'm the guy paying for it. So, yeah, they will get me, and Bob Arum knows that I exist, so he's putting that out there early, like, entertain you with this. But
let me interrupt you real quick, champ. I was trying to let you get your little intro off, but we do got a counter punch I got to get to, so let me get to him and then right back to you. Going out to New Orleans on a counter punch, JT.
Yeah, well, I disagree with Casual, and actually, injured Broner is damaged goods. It's not a good fight for Broner. I mean, it's not a good fight for But
wasn't Khan damaged goods?
No, listen. Kell Brook would destroy Broner.
Damaged goods?
Hold on. Well, I got 45 seconds. Let me get my 45 seconds. Bud would destroy both of them fighters. Kell Brook would definitely destroy Broner because Broner ain't beating no top 47-pounder. Okay? And like I said again, the reason why everybody's going after Canelo because Canelo is beatable. And they see that. Nobody don't think they could just walk in there and beat Bud. That's why it's hard to make these fights for Bud. And all these top fighters know that. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, they're not offering them enough money to take that risk to fight Bud. That's why Bud ain't getting these fights. That's all I got, man.
That's why I like him, man. Damn, man. Why you couldn't come to the fucking Border Wars, bro? Look, he said it at the end. He said it. They not offering him enough money to fight Bud. Thank you. Because that's what they did for Gennady. They gave Stevenson enough money to help Gennady build his name. They gave Daniel Jacobs enough money. They gave David Lemieux enough money. Stop crying if your mans ain't paying people.
Champ, let me just give my outro real quick. Got a split at Mario Munguia on Twitter, at Mario Munguia on Instagram. I'm not running from nobody, so if you hit me up on Twitter, we can continue the discussion. Just hit me up, and I'll see y'all tomorrow evening for the Sunday show.
7 p.m.
Peace.
Yo, peace.
Go ahead, give me some of what you got, champ. You the last one.
Yo, damaged goods. I thought Kell Brook was damaged goods.
Word.
He fought two freaking heavier guys than him, so he's extra damaged. He got his face broke. He fought Gennady, and he also fought who else?
Errol Spence.
And they were talking he was damaged goods when he fought Errol Spence. And that last caller was JT, right?
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, they ain't paying guys. Yeah, enough. So man's when Ness responded, man's being right that your man's ain't putting up the money.
Exactly.
Man's being Godfather Bob Arum.
And what does that mean? If Bob ain't paying the right money for the tough fight, he might not believe in Bud. He giving offers he know people ain't going to accept. I mean, look, I'm screen sharing what Bob said, man, and I'm going to read it again. A lot of guys that were interested in fighting, like Kell Brook, has said that he wants to fight Terence. Arum told a group of media reporters, right, on Sunday. And That'll be fun. Oh, that fight's fun, huh, Bob? Okay. I mean, the other guys that Heyman has, I'm not really interested in. Sean Porter isn't a real fight for Crawford. Oh, word, Bob? Danny Garcia is not a real fight. Word, Bob? Keith Thurman isn't. Word, Bob? The fight that's a real fight is Spence. Oh, so you only want one guy is what you really saying, and you gonna do your own. Okay, I get you. I definitely
wonder
get
what Crawford's right for him. Shouldn't we prove it? Shouldn't we build our name off of that? That'll get you true deal.
Bro, that's a common opponent with Keith Thurman and with Sean Porter. How is that not a real fight? That just goes to show the logic in his promoter, or that his promoter has the agenda the Ness is saying. You know, that the author said, is Terence Crawford being spoon-fed weaker opponents? That's what the author presented, not me. See, people like to get stuck on what I'm saying. We using World Boxing News' article. You know what I'm saying? That dude's a journalist. You know what I mean? Not me. You know what I mean? That's what they saying. Is he being spoon-fed? I don't know. But we got there, everybody. No more boomerangs left. I refreshed. No more super chats or anything like that.
Broner versus Brooks. Thumbs up.
JC said maybe he did one. Let me double check. And he sure enough, he back like cookies.
You got something
like
to say?
Cookies.
Yeah, listen. I'm glad Ness you took that and respin that around. But I think it takes two promotions like PBC and Top Rank. I think you're trying to use what Bob Arum basically saying, but he know those fights, God is gonna beat them. And what those type of fighters gonna do, they're gonna try to cash themselves out the fight and stuff like that. The best fight, of course, is to be made is Errol Spence over there. And I think Sean Porter still will be a good fight. But those other fighters like Keith Thurman, then they're gonna cash themselves out the fight, so the money they gonna be asking for ain't gonna be there to give it to them because they know what Bud gonna do to them. And them fighters know that, man. We all fighters a fight. You know what's a tough fight for you and shit like that. They might not be scared of them, but they feel like they're not gonna get the money.
JT, man, I was almost with you, but correct me if I'm wrong, Casual, but didn't Keith Thurman just do 600,000 pay-per-view buys? How he gonna cash himself out? You about to make money with Keith. If you sit down and break bread with Keith, you gonna make money. If you sit down and break bread with Danny, you gonna make money. Why? Because Danny's a draw. You bring that Crawford fight. Where Crawford been fighting at? Madison Square. So where you bring that fight? Barclays, where Danny been fighting at, where it's a bigger arena or whatever. If Madison holds more, it don't matter. But that fight is a New York City fight with Danny Garcia and Terence Bud Crawford. That's a pay-per-view fight. That's a pay-per-view fight. That's a star-making fight. Danny got all the names that Bud don't. So you use them. Right. If you a promoter and you believe in your guy, you paying for that fight because you know after that fight, your guy's coming out of there shining like a new Cadillac. You know what I'm saying?
So just for clarification, Arum is talking about big fight as in bigger pay, not big fight like event, right? Because I think Thurman is a big event. He gave Manny Pacquiao a hell of a big ass fight. You know what I mean?
I'm with you, man. So only thing I can say is like, yo, he's talking about big money. Like it ain't no money in them fights. The only money fight is the Spence fight. And I can hear him, but he ain't gonna get that Spence fight if he don't position his fighter to get in that Spence fight. That's all.
And also another thing, since we want to talk about damaged goods, we still don't know about Spence.
Yeah,
Off accident.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
but look, man, we got Derek. I was about to be out, but Derek in Jersey said, "What up?
What up?
Yo, what's going on, y'all?
What up? What up?
What's going on? Yeah, I'm with y'all on that, man. I mean, I think Bud is like, he needs to prove himself, man. Really, like on some real talk. He hasn't fought anybody. I don't care what he did at 140 fighting bums, collecting belts, fighting all these bums and everything. Nobody cares about that. Like, he needs to fight somebody at 147. I don't care who it is. It could even be Mikey Garcia. Like, it could be anybody. Just someone in that division. Like, doesn't even matter. But as far as, like, him and Broner, I think it would be great for, like, the press conference and everything. Great press conference and getting his name out there. But as far as the fight itself, Broner ain't going to let his hands go. He's just going to sit there and be blocking the whole time. And he's just going to win by unanimous decision.
Nah, he got to stop Broner. Make that statement. Broner never been stopped. Not even Maidana. Not even Porter.
Yeah, he hasn't.
You got to
he
stop
hasn't.
Broner.
Right.
You got to stop Broner. You separate yourself.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. See, they don't see that I'm just trying to help. You know what I mean? They see it as me being too mean.
Right.
But I'm setting you up. I'm setting you up for success. I'm setting you up for success. You know what I mean? You fight Broner and you stop him. That's success. Pacquiao couldn't stop Broner. Sean couldn't stop Broner.
Garcia couldn't.
Bro, success, man. You can do it. He's so technical. You know what I mean? He could break him down. Body shot him to death. To death. In that press conference, listen, but look, I can't, look, I tried, man. I tried. But yo, I'm out. NestGTO, Instagram. Oh, I think Intrigue, I didn't give you a boomerang. What up? You got a second go because you fell asleep on the first call. We went to you. We didn't give you a secondary one. Ready or what? Ready or not, here I come. But Crawford fans can't hide. We gon' find you and make you understand that his resume's trash. Nah, I'm fucking with y'all. What up?
Yeah, man, I don't really got nothing to add. Yeah, man, he need to, like I said, man, Broner. I mean, I was just saying in the chat, man, I guarantee if you go into any of your barbershops on Saturday morning when it's packed and full, and if you go in there and ask them, do they know who Terence Bud Crawford is? Majority of the barbershop ain't gonna know who they are, know who he is. You know what I mean? That's why he need to fight somebody like Broner. But if he fight the Kell Brook fight, I'm cool with it. He fight anybody with a pro, I'm cool with it. Josesipo Lopez, anybody in them top 10 welterweight records, I'm cool with it. I mean, you know, I'm cool if he fights Spence right now. I mean, I'm cool. I just want to see him fight somebody. But that's it.
All right, Intrigue the Incredible Boomerang. JT said he want 2 counter punches. All right, let's go then.
Gotta start tipping, man.
Let's go then.
Hey, this J-Mac, it ain't no JT.
My bad.
Just like I told Mr. Intrigue, it don't matter if he go in a barbershop. All that matters is his favorite fighter knows him, and we already know what his favorite fighter said about him as soon as the man moved up to the weight division. So all that going to barbershops trying to find out who they know, they fucking casuals anyway. So I don't take them niggas serious. Back to you and Mr. I didn't hear what casuals talk. I don't even take casuals serious. So anything casuals talking, I don't even buy into that bullshit. It's
You don't even watch boxing talking about casuals. Stop. Hardcores like you don't even watch fights, man.
I know. I hear you. You just on here for wordplay. You on here for wordplay. Stop eating up my seconds, clown. Hey, back to you, Ness. Anyway, all this what Bud needs to do and what Bud haven't done. Bud has done it already. That's why we speak on Bud fighting a fucking arrow. When y'all gonna wake up and realize and stop and put y'all bitch packs away?
Nah, man. You speaking of Bud fighting arrow. We talking about Danny fighting arrow. He the number one. He the mandatory. He the one that stepped in the ring. He the one that PBC insinuated gonna fight. You wishing
what's
star.
his name? I'm gonna keep him in mind because I got a lot for him. Was he Jay from New Orleans?
J Mac. Actually, I fucked up. He got 2. He said he wanted 2. Go ahead, J Mac. Do another one. But I gave you a minute the first time because I love going back. You ready? You got.
Wait, let me step out. Hold on. I gotta step out.
Yeah. You finally took that Bluetooth off, huh?
Hey, no, I'm still on my Bluetooth. It just was raggedy this morning. When I was saying put y'all bitch packs away, meaning all this stuff talking about what this dude ain't did. How did he even get to this spot? The dude moved up from 135, made noise there. 130, 135, 135, 140. Now he's fighting in his 3rd weight class, but we still talking about what he needs to do. What he needs to do is allow them guys who want to fight him because it takes 2 to tango. Everybody keeps saying he need to fight somebody. He did clear out of division in the lower division and move up in his first fight and did get a belt. We're not going to sit up here and act like these guys on the other side of the street are claiming to be on the other side of the street and trying to fight him. It's kind of bullshit when you keep saying, oh, he need to fight somebody, but the other guys in type welterweights ain't talking about fighting him. How can that even make sense?
He need to fight. He need to fight somebody so that the barbershop, everybody in the barbershop knows his name, like they know AJ, like they know Andy Ruiz, like they know Mayweather, like they know Danny Garcia, like they know Keith Thurman. The name goes on and on.
Yo, and the thing is, he's saying Hyde don't make sense and we don't make sense and you a clown when Danny fought Porter. Porter fought Danny. Thurman fought Danny. Thurman fought Porter. Like, what are you talking about, bro? You keep talking about these guys don't want to. They fighting each other. They're fighting the tops of the division. Who is your guy fighting, brother? But we're out, man. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Audio-only version of this will be out in a few hours. Thank you. Peace.
TBV_casual_fan J-Mac on Twitter and on YouTube and www.boxingfanapparel.com.
Peace.
Peace.